Everybody's got to straighten out something sometime. I don't care how old you are or how young you are. I don't care if you're married, single, divorced, engaged, or shacking. You got to straighten out something every now and then. But I want you to think about all the times that you've heard somebody say, let's straighten it out. Think about it. And I guarantee you that most of the time, it was a man who said it. Now, the reason why I say that is, well, let's face it, most of the time it's a man who makes it crooked in the first place. We don't mean no harm, that's just the way we are. Sometimes we do have a tendency to sort of take you for granted, don't we? Always acting like we don't understand some things. But I believe a woman feels things deeper than a man.
Right on.
I don't care what nobody says. I believe a woman loves stronger than a man.
Okay.
Because you see, sometimes we just don't seem to understand. I know because, you see, I'm speaking from experience. Because I came home one day and my woman was just going all around the house, not having very much to say. And I was kind of puzzled. I didn't know what to do. So I looked her straight in the eye and I said, sit yourself down, girl, and talk to me.
Hey.
And tell me what's on your mind. Don't you keep on telling me everything's okay. Cause if it wasn't, you wouldn't be crying. You've been tossing and turning in your sleep, baby. Sitting around, popping all day long. Now how the hell you expect me to understand when I don't even know what's wrong? Let's straighten it out.
Babe,
Straighten it out. Honey, let's straighten it out.
hey.
Let's straighten it out. For the last 5 nights, girl, when we went to bed, oh, I can tell something just wasn't right.
Ooh.
When you turn your back to me and you covered your head,
Hey.
or you didn't even say goodnight.
Hey, girl.
It gets time, and you don't want to be bothered, baby. Just say the word and I'll leave you alone. Instead of laying there crying, your eyes are bleeding. You and me ought to be getting it on. Let's straighten it out,
Hey.
baby. I said straighten it out. Oh, man. Let's straighten it out. I want to straighten it out. Let's straighten it out. Baby, let's straighten it out. I want to straighten it out. All night long, baby. Let's straighten it out.
Hey.
Now how the hell you expect me to understand
Oh.
when I don't even know what's wrong?
Oh.
Baby, let's
Straighten it out.
That's all I want to do, baby. Just
Straighten it out. Okay. Fair use. Okay, I'm glad they put that at the end. Hey, Garwin. Oh man, yeah, Lattimore. My husband just told me. Yeah, they're not giving a date. They just saying August. Yeah, this is my favorite blues song. I love this blues from this era, like blues from the '70s, where it had a little more of a, I guess you could say, well, R&B is rhythm and blues, but where it had a little more of an R&B soul feel. Yeah, this is. Um, you hear my cat? Let me let him in there. Yeah, girl. Well, I was going to speak on this briefly because I was up in here early, but yeah, I was up in there early and I'm tired now. My voice is out. Well, me all night. Yeah, talking so much yesterday. But yeah, if you do want to come up and say something, I'll put the link out. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep this long though, cause I'm tired. Yeah, I've been up in here too much now. I was in here like you see my voice is out. But man, yeah, yeah, just finished sewing something for my grandchild. Him in a skirt now. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, Lattimore. I'm gonna put out the link though. Yeah, I put out there yesterday, but I'm gonna put it up. Maybe we could chop it up real quick, or like if there was something that if there was something that had wanted to say that you didn't get to say yesterday. Yeah, because when I put the link out, I noticed you was gone because I know you had requested the link yesterday. But and then I also tried to come up in here early. But yeah, Lattimore, let's straight. I'm not too sad though, because he lived longer than a lot of you know singers of that genre. But hold on, let me share another image. Yeah, I guess we've had like two recent tragedies, but I'm more likely to speak on the music related, being I'm so passionate about music. But yeah, Lattimore. Let me now. This is because my husband just shared this with me, so I'll be reading this. We'll be reading this together for the first time. I'm reading this from that ericalper.com. That ericalper.com. This is like a music related site. Lattimore, Blues Hall of Famer behind Let's Straighten It Out, dies at 86. Benjamin William Lattimore, the blues and R&B singer, pianist, and songwriter known professionally as Lattimore, died in August 2026 at the age of 86. Now they're not giving an exact date; they're just saying August 2026. So he may have already, been gone. They're just telling us this month or today. Just getting this news now. Born in Charleston, Tennessee in 1939, Lattimore drew early music influence from country music, his Baptist church choir, and the blues. He got his start as a professional pianist, backing various Florida-based groups, including Steve Alimo, before recording for the first time around 1965 with Henry Stone's Dade Lab in Miami. He moved to the Glades label in early 1970, scoring his first major hit in 1973 with a jazzy reworking of T-Bone Walker's Stormy Monday, which reached number 27 on the R&B chart. Lattimore followed with his first national hit, If You Were My Woman, a gender-flipped cover of a song popularized by Gladys Knight and the Pips, which reached number 70 on the R&B chart. Yeah, I gotta like when they do those like kind of answer songs, or kind of flipping the song. His biggest success came in 1974 with Let's Straighten It Out, which topped the R&B chart and crossed over to number 31 on the Billboard Hot 100. So, oh wow, that's something to know. Okay, so it hit number one, I guess, on the R&B charts. Okay. I don't know why, but I thought that this song came out like 1978. I don't know why, but I just thought this was the latest 70s. But yeah, those are some of the big. I love those more kind of those blues songs that are more like R&B leaning. Like it's definitely those ones from like the 70s. I would even put gosh, goodness gracious. I would even put Johnny Taylor in that category. I love. Some people may debate with me, like the song "I Believe in You." I love that song. Some may some may say that they see that kind of more as just R&B, but then I guess being the R&B is for rhythm and blues. But yeah, I think this was like these were my favorite blues songs from this era. But I don't know why. It just seemed like this was like later 70s. But yeah, now when I think about it, because this was around the same time as a song, I Believe in You, Johnny Taylor. But yeah, this was my favorite. And I'd say Johnny Taylor, that's my second favorite. Even though some would say wouldn't necessarily they see that kind of more just R&B soul, not necessarily blues with the Johnny Taylor song. Of course I know about that. Man, that's the song. I believe in you. Man, I'm from the shy. Come on. You better if you're definitely if you're a Gen X and older, you better know that song. And you black and your family from the South too, you better know that. I can't relate. I bet but my neighbors better know these songs. Definitely know. You best believe my daughter know these songs. Better know some Johnny Taylor. I remember this girl that I originally went to college in the '90s. It was this friend. She was my age, so we were young. Yeah, like 1920, like 20 years old. I remember she was going crazy. She was my age, and she was going crazy because Johnny Taylor was coming to town in Milwaukee. I will say this: Milwaukee, they even though they didn't seem to be so up on old school music as I felt they should have been, they know some blues though. They know. I will say it almost like they. I dare say a little more appreciative of the blues than a lot of people in Chicago, believe it or not. I know that's hard to believe, being that this is blues city. But I think in Milwaukee they actually a little more up on blues. Now down home blues, yeah, I can't say I was as, but this. I'll say that this is my favorite blues era more so than this stuff like in the mid to late '70s. These are my favorite blues songs. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, I put the link out there just in case if you want to come up. Wait, didn't I? Or did I put it out there? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, let me just make sure just to pin it. Oh, okay, and what else it says here? Okay, but again, it says his biggest success, Latimore's biggest success, came in 1974 with "Let's Straighten It Out," which topped the R&B chart and crossed over to number 31 on the Billboard Hot 100. So that's high. If it was, if a song, a blues song like that, was able to not only reach number one on the R&B charts, but also make the Billboard. That's like the mainstream pop charts at number 31. Who knew? He continued his commercial run with "Keep the Home Fire Burning," which reached number 5 on the R&B chart in 1975, and "Something 'Bout You," which reached number 7 the following year, before his hits began to slow down by the end of the decade. In 1982, Latimore signed with Malaco Records, releasing 7 albums of modern blues material with the label over the following years. He briefly departed in 1994 to release music with the J-Town label before returning to Malaco in 2000 with "You're Welcome to Ride." He went on to record for Mel Waiter's Britney Records and later launched a label called Lat Stone with his longtime collaborator Henry Stone, releasing "Back at You" in 2007, his first new album in 6 years. Beyond his solo career, Latimore remained active as a session pianist for decades, contributing to Joss Stone's albums the Soul Sessions, and Mind, Body, and Soul, alongside fellow Miami music veterans Betty Wright, Timmy Thomas, and Willie Hale. He made a notable television appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon in May 2014. In 2017, Lattimore was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame in recognition of his decades of contributions to the genre. Across a recording career that spanned more than 5 decades and produced, dozens of albums, Lattimore left behind a body of work that helped define Southern soul blues, remembered for a voice critics praise. This time, remembered for a voice critics praise as unadorned and direct. That's how it's posted here. Delivering lyrics with an intelligence that never relied on vocal theatrics to land. Yeah, so rest in peace to Lattimore. They're not, giving, the cause of death, but yeah, he was 86 years old. I'm not too sad considering, lived longer than a lot of, like I said, who's making, oh, maybe we talk about the blues for a second. Yeah, but with Lattimore, I'm not too sad because it always made me feel good to know, yeah, he's still alive, he's still alive. So I knew, I had to expect this. Yeah, and he actually performed, even if he didn't have any charting hits. He still performed. That I know. It, yeah, pretty much to the end. He stayed performing. Yeah, because I know they would always when they would always be like shows, and yeah, I know that he stayed performing. That I can't say that I ever saw him myself, but I know that he stayed performing. And let me, because being that I do want to talk on just a little more on some blues music. Um, because I did talk about this earlier, but being that the streams are privated, being that they're all over the place and everything, um, I do once again let me talk about being that we also lost the actor Michael Wright once again, known as Eddie Kane, Five Heartbeats. I recall I didn't know that he was go as far back as like the late '70s in films. I just first recall him. I do remember that film of Wanderers, The Wanderers. I do remember that, but I don't. I was a kid. I don't recall him. I just recall first remember him from The Principal with Jim Belushi, where he was the villainous high schooler. But I do feel like he was kind of typecast to play these roles where he was always like a really bad guy. Because even when you look at in the Five Heartbeats, he like redeemed himself, but he was the singer who like fell off to drugs and in his ego and drugs. But he looked really nice with the mustache. Yeah. But he was very underrated actor. He's one of those actors like we know him, but a lot of people may not remember his name. And let me read this on Michael Wright once again, although I did talk about him earlier and last night. Um, Give me a second, y'all. And it says Michael Wright. Now this was posted August 23rd, 2026. Updated. New details have emerged in the death of Michael Wright, the actor best known as Eddie King Jr. in the Five Heartbeats, who died August 19th at age 70. And I didn't know he was that old. I'm thinking like he's my oldest brother's age. I'm thinking he's like maybe 60 years old. I didn't know he was that old. And I didn't know how far back he had been acting. His family told TMZ he died in Los Angeles from heart failure, coupled with complications from Markia Fava Bignami disease, a rare degenerative neurological condition. Wow, that's messed up. I know I had heard, like I said, I know I had heard that he was ill. So yeah, it's still sad though. Still kind of unexpected. The update came as tributes continued pouring in, including one from NBA Hall of Famer Allen Iverson. And let me show you what he shared. Okay, and Iverson wrote on Instagram and Facebook, huge fan. Rest in peace to the legend, Michael Wright. Iverson, who has appeared in films including Like Mike and Imagine That, said he had admired Wright's work for years. Wright's Five Heartbeats co star Leon Robinson, actor David Allen Walker, and comedian Lonnie Love also shared tributes. His wife, Susan Wright, first confirmed his death in an Instagram post, calling him an extraordinary artist whose work touched generations. Wright's career spanned more than 4 decades, from his 1975 debut in The Wanderers. Yeah, again, I didn't know that he was acting that far back, to his Volpe Cup winning performance in Streamers 1983, and later roles in HBO's Oz and Black Lightning. But it was the Five Heartbeats, a story rooted in gospel music and the tension between church and stage, that fans return to most. Yeah, I remember he was cold blooded in Sugar Hill. Again, I cannot watch. Oh, it's a form of cancer. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can't watch shows like Oz. Enough of that. But yeah, Michael Wright, definitely. Even I do feel he's kind of typecast in these villainous roles, but definitely a great actor. Very, very much underrated. And in his own way, kind of funny. Even in the principal, a little bit. He was bad. He was terrible. But in his own way, he was kind of funny. You know, there's certain people that kind of funny without, even though you don't know if they're trying to be funny. That's how it kind of was with the Five Heartbeats. Then when you think about it, Five Heartbeats, that was kind of funny. Oh, who's this? Okay, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Remember me?
I think I do. Can you, help me out?
We was talking about Angela Bofield.
Oh, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. I saw you was doing this tribute. I'm like, I loved Michael Wright, and I love the '90s era that we had of black actors. And I saw the stream yard, so I'm like, you know what? Let me kick it. Let me kick it on here.
Okay, all right. Well, if you want to ask something, you can go ahead. Um,
You know, it just seemed that, like, to me, that the great Michael Wright and a lot of those actors that came about in the '90s, it seems to me that, like, we almost had a new age of, like, I don't want to say black exploitation, but you have that, like, black film explosion in a sense.
it was kind of like I kind of refer to it, I would say, from the time of like from 87 to like 97. Well, I'll say up into 99, 1999 with the best man. It was kind of like it was a black renaissance, if you, or a black, yeah, I guess I don't want to use the term black exploitation, but I know what you mean. But it was kind of like a black cinema renaissance, if you will, even with
Right.
music in that way. Yeah, it kind of, I would say it kind of kicked off. I'm not going to say Steven Spielberg Color Purple. To me, it kind of kicked off after, I would say Hollywood Shuffle and Spike Lee. That was around the same time in '87 with Spike Lee. She's Got to Have It. But I think even more so, even though some people may disagree, I say like after Hollywood Shuffle with Robert Townsend's Hollywood Shuffle, and also that's when we got to know more from the Wayans brothers, and I think that's what kind of, and then I remember you had Coming to America, and also just around that time, like '88, you had Yo MTV Raps and all of that, and yeah, because also that's when a lot of people, yeah, because you remember with Robert Townsend, I don't think he get enough credit as a director. But I think with Hollywood Shuffle, and also considering that the Five Heartbeats was also Robert Townsend's project, I kind of think he don't get, like, we'll talk about John Singleton, we'll talk about Spike Lee, but I don't think Robert Townsend gets as not much credit. And I'm gonna also say this as a Chicago for the doors that I believe he helped open in cinema, because also he helped us to give the Wayans brothers, kind of a platform. And if you remember, he had a
Correct.
show before Chris Rock had his show. I think he was the first black comedian to have like an HBO special or like a series with a comedy series with HBO. Remember the Robert Townsend? It was like late '80s, and that's what he also had. You had the Wayans brothers with him, actress Anne Marie, what was her name? Anne Marie Robinson, and if you can remember that. And I think that's what kind of opened the door for like that helped open in the door, and then also with the popularity of the hip hop culture and New Jack Swing and all of that. Yeah, so eventually I like coming.
Yeah,
And,
I
you know,
I,
Wright,
I
Wright.
agree.
Mhm. I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
agree with you that we don't speak on Robert Townsend in the same way that we speak of like John Singleton or even Spike Lee, and I think that that's kind of by design because I'm gonna kind of bring this up. Like, I was listening to an interview with Jamaica's greatest son, Delroy Lindo, the other day,
Mm,
and he was like talking about that old school movie clockers, right?
yeah.
And he pointed out that with like clockers, and he said, so, and I'm paraphrasing, but we have to and keep in mind, I'm a, bring my point, but Delroy said that we have to keep in mind when it come to these like hood movies or black urban movies, these are only a small minority of people that engage in that. And
Right.
so, due to like media, it's sensationalized like everybody's doing it. Now, where does Robert Townsend fit into this? Robert Townsend, he still talks about black film and things of that nature, but he doesn't deal with the urban thing so much. And so I think that some black people are not, uh, I, the- it,
I think I
he,
think what it is
he's
you got.
not getting,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
yeah, he's not being pushed by like mainstream like that because he doesn't, follow he doesn't do the stereotypical so-called hood movie. And I think sometimes maybe
Right.
Robert Townsend's films are not it, it may not appeal to a certain type of black viewer to an extent as well.
Right. I feel what you're saying. Like, I think what it is okay. Like for instance, him with Meteor Man, that was something that I believe also Bill Cosby supported. You know what I mean? So it's like it's okay. What I think what you're saying is it's like my family loved comedy, right? And my mama would always play like Richard Pryor records or VHSs, you know, whether it was the Sunset Strip or the cassette or the album that is crazy. My mom, you know, now my brothers they eventually got more into like all into Eddie Murphy, you know, like Delirious. But I remember I used when I really listen to Bill Cosby himself. I used to like when they play that like on HBO or something. And I remember I had nobody, even though it was very funny, but none of my siblings would listen to that with me, right? And don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
love Richard Pryor. I love the but you know, I was baby of the family. There was a lot of cursing in that. But I like okay now with the Bill Cosby himself, there wasn't I think he only said one curse word and that was damn. Yeah, but there wasn't any cursing in it. But it was to me, it was just as funny. The physical humor, the stand up, the jokes, everything, the situational jokes. You know, talking about his family. But I remember I used to be sitting alone, like when I was like a 12 years old and stuff, and like even though it actually came out in the early '80s before the Cosby Show began, you know. But
You know,
I used to love watching it, but I used to be disappointed because okay, like my brother, they'd all be together watching, listening to watching like Delirious and Richard Pryor. Even though I kind of I felt kind of uncomfortable because all of the profanity and sexual jokes and stuff. But um, I felt like comfortable listening to Bill Cosby. Like this is something I could feel comfortable. Didn't feel like I got to close my ear, leave the room with my siblings. You know, being that I'm the baby of the family. But nobody wanted to listen to that. My mama wasn't listening. It's not that they didn't think Bill Cosby was funny, but you know they were so you know they wanted raw. You know what I'm saying? That's what my brothers and stuff wanted. They wanted, whereas I did appreciate. So I know, I think that's what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody loved Hollywood Shuffle though. Everybody loved that. And but I think what happened was Rob, yeah, and also it helped him working with the Wayans brothers on Hollywood Shuffle. Now the Wayans brothers, they were able to still keep that black audience, keep that black urban hood audience even, and also the Wayans brothers were able to get the mainstream, like white people as well. They knew how, eventually doing movies like Senseless and all, White Chicks and all that stuff. Whereas with Robert Townsend, I think that what it was with him, he was kind of like too black for he wasn't mainstream enough. Even though Meteor Man, I don't think he was still main. Even though Hollywood Shuffle was like kind of hit, an unexpected hit, but he still wasn't mainstream enough. Where but at the same time, he wasn't hood enough. You know what I mean?
I,
We
I get what I get what you're saying. Like I get what you're saying 100%. I just I it's just he's an acquired taste for a specific type of black person.
right. I think
You
he was
know,
was initially now with like Hollywood Shuffle and even the Hot Five Heartbeats. But I think people begin to see him kind of like how they see Bill Cosby. I mean, you love Cosby and you love this, so that's why I think he went more into television, kind of like Bill Cosby. With he eventually went into television with The Parenthood, and yeah, so maybe they felt that his was not saying that we just want a taste for profanity and all.
and, you
But
know, also with like Robert Townsend, right? It he was just I think Meteor Man was very like revolutionary. Like we never saw no black superhero family.
you know what? You're absolutely ironically, I didn't, sad to say, because I ain't gonna lie, I got it's just like there was a time when I was a straight up hip hop purist, and even though I initially liked like MC Hammer, I was kind of with the rest, like this ain't raw enough or funky enough, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't appreciate Meteor Man as much as I should have when it first came out. I think because by that time, maybe, I don't know, maybe it was the influence of hip hop. I think by that time I was, now getting into the hood movies or whatever. But I recently, not that long ago, because my husband liked it, I sat and watched it with my husband, and I like, I realized that I kind of missed out, with Meteor Man. Because believe it or not, I didn't really, and I feel ashamed. I didn't really care to watch it when it came out. I'm not gonna lie. I was like a late teen. Wait, I was a young adult. I think when that came out.
Hmm.
Exactly, I might have been 19 or 20 years old. What year was that? But I guess I did kind of see it was kind of cheesy. Not that but I loved Robert Townsend. But hey, how you doing, Gary Taylor? Yeah, but now I think, but I realized, yeah, it was very recently that I watched Media Man, and I finally sat through it, and I feel kind of bad, like people don't know. There's all this talk about, oh, Bill Cosby didn't like rappers, this, and that. People don't realize Bill Cosby was trying to promote a hip hop group that was kind
Right.
of slept on. A lot of people don't know this, and they don't want you to.
And ooh, and let's think about this with Bill Cosby too, right? Like we gotta understand, like even when he criticized Def Comedy Jam, which I think that was, I I think that was also brilliant of him to do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People have to understand the era that Bill Cosby, Red Fox, Godfrey Cambridge, all these men came out of. See, he was born in 1934,
Right.
and Bill Cosby grew up looking at. I think, if I was to be quite honest, Pigmeat Markham and all of the blackface performers growing up. And so with black comedians back in the day, number one, when you was a comedian in the 30s and 40s and 50s, you had to be able to do a whole set without cursing, or you had to be smooth with your jokes to the point where people got your jokes, but you couldn't use foul language. And I think that when people criticize Cosby just on work ethic alone in terms of that, a lot of black comedians, actors, it just shows a generational disconnect.
Right. And see, I'm glad. See, I have an appreciation. Um, Even though I couldn't like, even with my mom, get her to kind of watch, but she still respected Bill Cosby. I just would want. I used to just feel alone watching Bill Cosby himself. He stand up. But people got to realize, yeah, like you saying, he helped open the doors even for Richard Pryor. A lot of people, Richard Pryor initially wanted to be like Bill Cosby. A lot of people don't realize. Now, yeah, and when it comes to stand up, yeah, I do prefer, like Paul Mooney, Richard Pryor, but I also appreciated Bill Cosby, and I think what helped me to have that appreciation was my mom, who loved comedy. She schooled me when I was young on Jackie Mom's Mabley.
Oh yeah, she's our grandmother in terms of just comedy. Period.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of people don't, like she's OG, if you will. And so I have, and that's why I can even appreciate, like I remember in Tyler Perry's defense, and I can understand why people have an issue with, with the dress and everything. But in Tyler Perry's defense, and I remember back in the days of the message forums when there were people, and I have my criticisms too. But as a comedian and as a person who knows and does also, I appreciate comedy, so I can even like a comedian insult comic who's racist, like a Don Rickles. Okay, I still, even if that's not my taste of humor, I still can acknowledge the talent. You know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
yeah, yeah, I can still acknowledge the talent. Okay, but I do acknowledge he's an insult comedian. That's not necessarily my taste, and I feel he's racist and he's able to get away with a lot, as a lot of them, especially viewer-ish, were able to do. But I do still appreciate the talent. But yeah, like in the case of Tyler Perry, um, like he was. I remember we would have little debates, and I kind of had to defend Tyler Perry as an artist, whether or not we totally agree with the messages or whatever with his movies, or no, he's not the best director, and his plots may be predictable and all of that, and repetitive or redundant. But like as a comedian, as I definitely feel that despite, yes, men ain't supposed to be putting on dresses and all that. I know, considering what the Bible says. But if I'm just looking at him as a comedian, he's very talented. I cannot deny. And I'm not just saying as a businessman. And I remember Tyler Perry would talk about how he was influenced by the Chitlin circuit and how we should have more, instead of being ashamed, appreciation. And so, and I understood what he was saying, giving ode to the Chitlin circuit. Okay. Now, some people may see raccoonish in it, but I know what he was saying. Like, there was a time when, and you had the black entertainers kind of struggling. They had to bond, in what was referred to as the Chitlin circuit. And so I understood where he was coming from. So I do understand, even with his form of comedy, because people don't realize, like, the way that he's able to transition Joe and Medea, and that takes some talent. Whether that's your style. Like, I'm not too much into the. I know, believe it or not, with the Lunel and I don't like when stuff get too raunchy, but I do still appreciate, you know what I'm saying, the comedy. And I'm gonna go as far as saying, because there's some people who say Cat Williams ain't funny, right? Even though
Right.
Cat Williams, he's disappointed me, true. But I do recall when not Cat Williams, the others, Kevin Hart. That's what I meant. I'm going to go as far as kind of defy that because I do recall when Kevin Hart first was blowing up and doing stand up. He was funny to me, even if it wasn't as funny yet. He was still funny. I mean, I could find some of that earlier stuff. I were to say somebody like, and just talking comedy, who comedians that I didn't find, because I can appreciate from Rodney Dangerfield to, if I were to say a comedian I didn't find funny, and I also appreciate physical comedy like Lucille Balls, Steve Martin, Jim Carrey. But I will say I didn't with the Gallagher. Like I actually dug Carrot Top with his little props earlier on. I can't say that I got into Gallagher. That's when it was just kind of like court jester silly to me. But to each his own. He was famous for some reason. And I will say, I got to say, when it came to stand up, Mike Epps, even though my niece Tasha disagree with me, but she think he's funny. I'm not gonna lie. That was one person listening. I didn't laugh at a single joke. I
We,
think great with the physical comedy, like in the movies, but I don't know.
I think, Mike. Well,
And
I think a true measure of a comedian is like how long can you do like a whole set without doing like foul language and things that or political like well too political comedy in a sense. But
what?
like mhm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's I think Mike Epps is like insanely funny. Just like you could tell that a lot of his stories, like, well, another thing that I gauge a good comedian in is like how much pain do they have like in their stories. You know what I'm saying? Because comedians are nutcases. So it's like I give an example. Lavelle Crawford. He's where I'm from. He's from St. Louis, right?
Oh yeah, Lavelle. Yeah.
And he had a joke where he said that he would go in the wing stop and he would buy like 100 wings. And so he said he didn't want to go in there and eat it in there by himself and see the kids, parents be like, "Don't look, turn your head." And he said he was watching the Discovery Channel. He was eating his 100 wings, and he said that a woman, I mean, a water buffalo calf was like, I don't know, 500 pounds, right? And so he weighed himself on the scale. He was like 50 pounds away from being a water buffalo. So he finished the rest of his wings, and said, "I need to lose weight."
Yeah, Lavelle cried out my husband. We listening to him. Yeah, Lavelle Crawford. Yeah, he hilarious. And he definitely still doing his thing. Yeah, that's different. And I noticed too, that people from the South, yeah, there's different forms. I'm like it's interesting you mentioned it. Oh yeah, like with Tyler. I remember when I first was hearing Tyler Perry. Now I'm from Chicago, but my family was born in the South. Although I had never actually been to Mississippi, but my family from the South. Well, but I'm Chicagoan. But yeah, I remember when I was first hearing like commercials, ads for this Tyler Perry plays, and this is before he had his like first big hit film or whatever. I remember, yeah, it was like over the radio, and they was like just playing the clips from his plays or whatever. And Tyler Perry coming to Chicago, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, wherever I said, was I in Milwaukee or Chicago? Well, anyways, I'm hearing on the radio, and I remember I was like, "Oh, this sounds so ignorant," what they were playing because I wasn't used to those type of plays and people talking like that and play, you know what I'm saying? To see so over the top and
Well,
yeah,
see,
of course, him being from the South. So I was like, this sound ignorant. This sound like some minstrel show stuff. But
well,
then,
ooh,
huh?
ooh, well, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was talking about Tyler Perry play, and yeah. But then I remember I was it was with my father's family, and it was the holidays. It was like Christmas, and they were playing. My father's family, they had been, they was in Cabrini Green, but now they were out of Cabrini Green. They were from the projects. My father's family, Cabrini Green, but they was all get together. Well, this after them leaving Cabrini Green, but yeah, they were playing Tyler Perry. It was it was like Christmas and the family get together and everything, and they were playing Tyler Perry, and I found myself enjoying it. It was like it always. I found myself like really, really enjoying it. But I didn't think I would. But it was, and actually, I think the plays were kind of better, even better than the movies. You know, and
See,
it, uh
my thing with Tyler Perry is this. I don't want to like beat on the dead horse or anything of that nature, but uh he he's found a niche for himself that he's not gonna square away from anytime soon.
yeah,
And I mean, and even to claim, even him to say that he was inspired by the Chitlin Circuit, I kind of, I don't, I don't know. I find that a bit unlikely. But yeah, I mean, he's not my cup of tea.
yeah. I can see. But I don't know. Have you ever listened? They used to have it when and even my husband. You gotta say, my husband, he from more the South Shore area where they were, I guess if you want to say bougie like blacks. When he actually ended up, it's like you gotta the plays. I found at first I wasn't attracted. Then next thing I found myself with my husband. I kind of cracking up, looking at stuff. I think but then it's like I know I can't be being that he's in the dress and all of that, but he is crazy to it because usually I don't like that type of comedy. Like I wasn't really fond of Martin Lawrence Big Mama House. I wasn't really fond of that, but it's kind of creepy with Tyler Perry because you do see Medea, you forget that, and me being having a grandmama. From the South, old fashioned grandmama that would, tear your behind up. And I think maybe also it was tapping into some being that around that time many of us were feeling like we losing Big Mama. You know what I mean? Um,
Oh yeah,
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 there's a difference
there's a
between.
difference
Oh
between.
wait,
Oh wait,
may have to mute the.
may have to mute the.
Yeah, some in that echo.
Yeah, come in echo.
now
Oh wait, no, I'm hearing the
Oh wait,
echo
no, I'm hearing the echo
from your.
from your.
Okay, okay, sorry about that.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh wait, is
Oh
that?
wait, wait, exactly.
so
Okay,
what was your favorite Michael Wright
wait,
role?
hold on
Wait,
one second.
hold on a second.
Lonnie, it's
Lonnie,
echoing
it's echoing
from your
from your
something you got to put on
something you got
mute.
to put on mute.
Okay, hold on. Let me try something.
Okay.
Okay.
You might need to
You
mute
might
the
need to mute that.
like if you got your
Like if you got your
on or
on.
okay, let me test. Okay. It's no longer
What
echoing.
about now? Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, it's fine
Can
now.
you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Fix now.
All right. When was the first time you saw Michael Wright?
The first time with me with Michael Wright, it was the principal. I didn't know he went that far back though. And that was like almost 10 years after what they said his first film, The Wanderers. I do remember that film, The Wanderers. It was like, yeah, I do remember that. My brother's watching that, but I don't quite remember him because I can't say I sat and watched it with my brothers, but I do remember that film. Not The Warriors. I remember that too. So I'm not confused with that. But I do remember the Wanderers. It was like set in the, but I don't recall him in it. I first recall him in in the principal. He was the my mama used to have a VHS. Used to watch that often with Jim Belushi. It was kind of like I don't know which came out first, Lean on Me or the principal. We had these movies. It was around the same time where you have principal and I think the principal came out first though, although Lean on Me was based on a real true story or whatever.
Hmm.
The hey, how you doing, Antoine? I know everybody. This is the thing. Everybody, my grandmother is nothing like Medea. Okay, I know, but I'm not. I would be lying if I didn't say that. Tyler Perry's Medea kind of tapped into with my grandmama. It's kind of creepy though. Of course, it's a caricature. Of course, that's the thing with comedy. It's not going to be exactly like a, you know what I'm saying? I'm jumping over cars and stuff. But there are certain things, and actually, the plays. When you watch the plays, there are some people who kind of appreciated the plays a little more so than the yeah, than the films. I mean, the films initially they weren't bad. What bothered me with Tyler Perry, this is where now I can't really defend him anymore. Especially like he's I don't know, it's kind of uncomfortable watching where he's trying to do erotic stuff now, and it's now too much profanity. And like
Yeah,
somebody
that
said, it's like he didn't brought drag into the church, but see we overlooked it because it was comedy, right? But yeah, and I'm just tired of the stuff now. It's like it's too much. Because I
yeah.
remember for Color Girls was traumatizing. Now it's like he's doing too much. Where it's like what was that last thing? I was angry watching that. That straw. Like, what is he trying to send us into deep depression or something? Yes.
Well, I would say this about Tyler Perry's new direction. Um, he he knows now that Black America is pretty much tired of the black church scene in his films. That we've moved on, right? So now he's trying to, and this is what the screenwriter's Bible, because I'm a writer.
Hmm.
So the screenwriter's Bible tells you that when you're dealing with a screenwriter who is doing nothing but profanity or violence or sex, you you really can't you can't necessarily write. And so I just think that this is just showing that he's not good going outside of the black female hero, which is I'm cool. I like seeing black men, black women in leads, but he knows that he can't keep doing that anymore. So he has to come up with shows like Beauty in Black and The Oval, and it's showing
Yeah,
his
I ain't even
weaknesses.
watch. I never got into the TV shows. I'm gonna be honest. You would think I would have. I
If
never
you
got into the his. I mean, I wish him success, but the TV shows that he had, I never was interested. I don't think I've watched any of the TV shows that he had.
if you want to watch a good black television show that deals with the church, you should check out a joint called Greenleaf
I've heard of that.
because they have like all good black actors in there to where it's top tier. It's like it's Chef's Kiss. It's like the Powerpuff Girls of like a black cast. And
Uh-huh.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, Keith David is in it. If you know who Keith David is, um,
Let me see. Hmm.
yeah, Keith David's in there. He was the pimp in the first
Oh,
barbershop movie.
I just looked him up. That's his name. How come I didn't know his name? Keith David. He's an actor. I talked about him. He the actor. He's funny as heck to me. Okay, Keith David. He's the actor who I just didn't quite know his name. He funny without. I just talked about they funny necessarily even when they're not trying to be.
I'm
Of
trying to
course,
interview
they're
him.
trying to be funny. Yeah, I like this guy. He's funny as hell, but it's like that's just how he is. He always smiling, ain't he?
Yeah, he
He
got a
always
big smile and he showed that gap off really
yeah.
well. It works. Like I don't know why, but it worked. Like
Yeah, and he got the eyebrows. He can't help the eyebrows. He got the
right.
like. like Ice Cube arches, and then with that smile. So he got that menacing look where you can't trust him. But
Hey,
yeah,
that's why he's those villain roles sometimes, and he got the smooth voice too.
right. But it's like this. If he was a villain though, like I don't know, I probably still end up cracking up though. He got like even in something about marriage. But I remember what was that movie? It was with Emilio Estevez. I can't remember it. But he was like a veteran having with post traumatic or having flashbacks of Vietnam. What was that movie? It was like late 80s, early 90s. It was with
Don't s-
Emilio with Charlie Sheen with two brothers, Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. And
talking about Platoon.
no, it was like a comedy. It was a
Oh, you
comedy.
talking about like where he said, "Don't steal a man's fries."
Oh, wait, what was it? Oh man, no, it was like out to work. It was I forgot. But hold on. Oh, I gotta find that. I'm gonna have to find that now. What was it? Was it out to work? Oh gosh, what was the name of that? Yeah. Minute work. Minute work. Okay, minute work. He was funny as hell. Hold on, minute work. This is why I kind of first recall him. Is that? Yeah, don't say another man's fries. He was funny as hell. When can I play these clips? What was it? And he kept having like, what was it? Was he having like Vietnam flashbacks or something? It was crazy ass.
Oh, don't get no copyright infringement.
Yeah, I know. It's like I want to play it, but
Yeah, he's probably he is so brilliant. Like I, he is so brilliant, and he's African centered too.
oh really? Yeah, that's the thing. I don't really know much about it. I didn't even know his name.
Yeah,
And
he is one of those actors where it's like you've seen him in so many things, but you don't know his name because he's not a household name.
always having that smile. Yeah. Yeah, and I can't say that he's played any roles that oh man. Oh yeah. They I forgot about that. So I think that was even but yeah, that was definitely before Minute Work. Okay. I forgot about that one. I forgot about that one. Yeah, he's a great actor. He did. I didn't know that. The US Navy. I did not know that.
Yep, he voiced Spawn in the animated series.
Oh wow. So that means then what you're saying, and I'm assuming with what you're talking about with the Green League, I guess he's still active then, huh?
Yes, he was. His big movie was that Jordan Peele movie. Nope.
Hmm. I haven't seen that. Is that horror? That's
Yeah, it's horror esque.
oh man, because we're trying to avoid. It's very well. We did watch. My husband and I. We did watch Get Out. Okay, we do watch. It's like we'll watch a thriller, but there's a like. I'm trying to not cross over into horror. Is it on a thriller tip? Because you got me interested in wanting to watch now.
It's
Like,
like aliens flying saucer.
oh, okay. So we could probably watch that then, right? Like we'll watch the Twilight Zone or something like that kind of scary, but just as long as it's not too demonic or too slasher or too much, let's say, like occultism kind of stuff involved. Too much of that.
I would
Um,
have recommended. I almost was gonna recommend watching Nosferatu, but that's cultish.
oh no, I know. Just saying those right. Yeah, I know what that would be. But you know what I do watch? Because I
What?
this stuff ain't really appealing to me. Um, other oh my gosh, I'm missing Big Brother. I'm missing oh gosh. But you know what? I don't even care because things ain't going the way I want anyway. So I'll wait till it stream tonight at midnight. But I may check out Survivor and stuff now, even though I was. It's only in recent years I started watching Survivor and stuff. But when it comes to movies and stuff. What's been interesting me, because I'm not gonna lie, I am over hood stories. Okay, I'm totally over that. I'm tired of, and I don't mean to sound like a traitor to my American people, but I'm really tired of the same old urban hood stories. What has been attracting me is the African directed, mostly, mainly speaking, like South Africa in Nigeria, some of the series that they've been having. I don't know if y'all been checking them out, but yeah, Nigeria, yeah, it mainly I think the South Africa just got a little one up on the Nigerian. Um, but yeah, yeah, and they got a recent one I'm gonna be checking out. But I don't know if you've gotten into like they have the one Blood Sisters.
I'm
Uh,
in the future, if the creator wills it, I want to work with Nollywood one day as a writer.
oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if the movies I watch if they are in the category of Nollywood. I don't know. I thought Nollywood was a special kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if they maybe they call it all Nollywood. I don't know. But yeah, like my sister-in-law, she liked the Kings of Joburg. Yeah, I've been watching stuff like that. It kind of started, like with even though that's kind of maybe the blood and water scene, but I just been finding myself like watching and just looking forward to, like the South African and, like they just had a new season with the Blood Sisters. And what was it? What was the last thing I just watched? Yeah, but it's one I'm waiting for. Only thing uh they leave you these cliffhangers for a new season. Sometimes it'll be 2 or 3 years before they have the next season. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that's when I'm finding myself. I'll be looking forward to. They got something new that I'm watching. Let me see if I look into. Hold on. If I go to the first thing, the South African films. It seems like I can only find them on Netflix though. I don't know if any other. I don't know if Paramount or, but Paramount is CBS. So I have a feeling though that they may not be promoting these any longer because I do feel I have my beliefs, like my little conspiracy theory beliefs that they may not want us to be enticed by West African or South just sub-Saharan African culture.
You know what's crazy
Yeah.
is that African Americans, whether we like it or not, a lot of things that we do are like African, right?
Mm.
Like I give an example. I know you've did that whole for the people who ain't here, and then you pour alcohol on the ground.
Mm.
That's African.
Really? I
Yep,
thought
that's called libation.
what's it called now?
It's called libation.
Okay. There's a wait a minute. What's very feminist?
What'd you say?
You said about daughters taking over the family. Oh, that's not always the case. Actually, okay. Actually, this is something I noticed with the African films. One thing I noticed, I think that they have, in all of these movies, there's like, I'm not offended by it though, but I noticed a lot of these African movies, whether it's South African or Nigerian, there seem to be in a lot of them, even though this isn't the case here with this. This is one of the only ones, but there's always like some evil motherly figure. That's something I noticed. Actually, I wouldn't say it's kind of like, obviously in African culture they got big appreciation for the father, for the baba, because I noticed like even like with the blood and water and blood sisters, there is like behind even if there's like an evil male character, right? There is some evil woman. This is something I noticed. There is some evil woman behind. Now they did a yeah. What was that one recently though, where the man was bad? They saying that that actor too, that he's getting threats, like people taking it seriously. What's that one they recently have? The one that was recently with a man cheating and she ended up ending him with a yeah. What was the I forgot? Gosh, my mind. But I noticed like a lot of these films, of course, like um the Blood Sisters. Behind, even if there's an evil male character, in the end, in the end, there's some. I'm wondering, like, and I know that Africa's a continent. There are many countries, but with both, whether we're talking South Africa or Nigeria, with the films that is, there is some really evil. So yeah, like this is an example. Woman, there was a father that was eliminated, or this woman that got rid of the father or the husband. Or she was behind the death of. And then so the woman ended up taking over, and they find out in the end that the reason, yeah, like it makes me wonder, are Africans kind of are they close to their mom? But I can
Well, we
tell Africans
gotta.
closer to their fathers. I can tell they're definitely closer to their fathers.
Well, that's a lot of that is due to colonialism by like Arabs and Europeans, because before the colonization, we came from a matriarchal or matrilineal philosophy mostly.
Yeah, and it's like okay, like this movie has started. I know I'm giving it away, but being that it's been out for a while now, too, it starts off with an evil, abusive man, but then with all of these, with a lot of them, I thought there's like this evil mother matriarch, like, and you find out that she took out the father, or she cheated on the father, or something, and even like with the what was it, the blood and water is the same thing. I know it's a couple of them. You find out there was some really evil woman. Now in this Blood Sisters, there's like two women. They're like more than one woman. Where you find out there was some evil, vindictive. Okay, like who's with the blood and water? Wait, who is the evil? Where's she at with the blood and water series? I forgot her name, but there's some matriarchal figure that you find out that she was actually oh gosh, KB's mother, and quite a few of them. I know I put KB's mother. Well, I'd have to go to the cast. They're not sure. Yeah, but as you go further into the series, it's like, yes, I kind of just pick up. I'm not mad. I'm not offended by her or anything, but I just noticed that like there's even though they're not showing it here, but there's some evil, vindictive, definitely with this. Let me see. Maybe I can find the video. Why is it like? Sorry, y'all. Um, yeah, to the point where it makes me wonder the mother the daughter mother relationship with a lot of African women. Like this woman here, something else. And I can tell that Tariq, he can talk all that stuff, but he watching this stuff because he used in the thumbnail, he used this woman's face. You know how he be creating these thumbnails with
Who
the
you talking about,
AI?
Tariq Nasheed?
Yes, he used. I said that's this woman's face because the facial
He's
expressions.
he's
Because
disgusting.
yeah, he
Just
used her face. She had them flaring. Yeah, like the way she was so. The idea, just cold blooded to the point where daughter almost took out her mama. That's something that I noticed.
Idea that you could feel color shoes is laughable.
You're a drug addict. You're, yeah, yeah.
You
So
date this dirty drug addict who has been a you're a useless, dirty drug addict who has been a disappointment to me from the day you were born.
I'm like, dang. so, I'm just noticing with a lot of these films, yeah, there's like some really evil, sinister motherly figure, and then you'll find out that she was behind. It was the husband. Yeah, they had a good father. There was, um, forgive me for the spoilers, but you'll find out with these films that was he ran the company. And she ends up somehow, whether it was through poison or whatever, taking out the husband. Yeah, like some vindictive motherly figure. And even I had to point out, even like with Tyler Perry films, I had to point out to some people, actually, when you look, well, at least at that time, he had a lot of even more terrible female characters, you know? Like I would say that the mother in that Lynn Whit was it Lynn Whitfield? I would say that she was actually worse than Blair Underwood's character when you really think about it.
Well, I like that you brought that up because I watched it recently, right? I remember
Yeah,
seeing that when I was like little, because I am 27. And I
yeah.
would say that that's probably one of his most powerful characters right there because they're so real.
Yeah, I like the with Tyler Perry. It was more the earlier stuff like that Antoine mentioned. Like, okay, Diary of a what was it, Tired Black Woman. That was pretty good. And well, my favorite used to be the family reunion one. I kind of like that one. That was a little more, I like the scene with. I think that was because of that scene with Cicely Tyson, and I did like Daddy's Little.
Starting now. Starting now. Gyrating.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, when she was on the porch. I don't know. She was like saying that from the heart. Like
He's
Cicely,
96.
right. Cicely Tyson is so good. It was like she was just saying that from the heart. Like they said that scene in the Women of Brewster plays. They said that
Oh,
was
I
not.
watched that
She said,
recently too.
hold on. They said that that was not rehearsed. Robin Givens did not expect that scene. She grabbed Robin Givens. Well, know this. She said. So they said that Robbie. Yeah, this is what Phyllis Yvonne Stickney said in an interview with God on Godfrey's podcast. She said that was totally like improv, and Robin Givens didn't expect that when she grabbed her and know this. I was born in a and so she said Robin Gibbons' reaction, it was real. Like she did not expect that. But that's just how good Cicely, rest in peace to Cicely Tyson. That's just how great an actress she is. Like,
Cicely Tyson isn't even African American.
why would she be African? Why would she be Black American? Come on now. Hold on.
No, a lot of people don't know that. She's actually from Nevis.
Let me see. Let me
She
see.
is not African American.
It said she was born in the Bronx.
Not African American. She is not so called FBA.
Okay, it said her parents were immigrants, but look, okay, from the West Indies. Okay, from Nevis. I've never heard of Nevis. Where exactly is that? Nevis.
Nor is Jackie Harry. Jack A, she's not African American either.
What?
Delroy Lindo is Jamaican.
Yeah, I know it's him. Nevis.
Um
Never heard of this island in the Caribbean.
Sidney Poitier, he's not African
Oh
American.
yeah. Oh yeah, I know that. But
Terry
okay, now
Belafonte.
well, Sidney Poitier, he wasn't born here. He wasn't, but Cicely Tyson was. But people gotta understand. So many of our people, like I had, that's why I can't give this FBA. These are still Black American people. Definitely if they were born in America, because okay, in that case, Louis Farrakhan, it's so many. Okay, our first settler, the first non-native settler in the city of Chicago, when it was Chicago, before even the white man. Okay, it was a person of Haitian descent. He might have been biracial, but he was a person of Haitian descent. Dusable. He was a Haitian before. That was the first. So we could say that the founder. And we got to remember that part of the United States, like when we think of Mexico, part of it was Mexico, because this is all
Yeah.
the Americas, North and South America. It is the Americas, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, she's from Harlem. I see it like this, just like how our people migrated from the South, the Great Migration. That there was also the Great Migration from the Caribbean. Pretty much the same thing. It just, just as there was the Great Migration from the South, there was a Great Migration also from the Caribbean. Many of those people going to cities like New York, and because come on, New York. That's why they could never get on board with the whole FBA thing, especially we talking like the Bronx, and because just about all of them, New York. If we were to really look into to that's why I was saying, like with the cast of A Different World, when he talking about, oh, they're talking Tariq Nasheed and the people in his comment section, they're not gonna watch the reboot because they saw one name that looked foreign. But I'm like, Cree Summer, who played Freddie, her parents were Canadian, and not to mention one of her parents was straight up white. What are you talking about? Her parents were Canadian. Dawn Lewis, who played Jalissa on A Different World, her yeah, her parents or grandparents, they were from Guyana. There's a lot of people. If we were really to dig into, if we were really to know, a lot of people, right? It doesn't even know who's what, right? It's a lot of people. We would have to Malcolm X. Come, I just found out Aaliyah, Jamaican roots, because Tariq Nasheed, he'll look at even if you just got one grandparent. That's like saying my brother's wife, her dad is Jamaican. So is that saying that like my nieces are tethers, my brother's children? That's crap. I don't even think they've even been to Jamaica.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. Like at this point, like we're kind of starting to see like who's who in this type of age today. Like people is like drawing their lines in the sand and things of that nature. I like to see that now in this day and age. But did you know that Idris Elba has African American roots?
Oh, African American? Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I know that he's, like I figured that he was, British actor, being that many of them, their parents, grandparents, and all that came from Jamaica, the West Indies, and I know in more recent years, you got a lot of people in the UK from like West Africa.
Yeah, his grandfather is Idris Elba's grandfather is African American.
So I didn't know that. And see, that's the thing too. Like in the case of Drake, his father is Larry Graham's brother. I can't remember his name, but Larry Graham, Sly and the Family Stone, funk legend. You can't. But I understand being that much as like he was, born in Canada. Okay, I get it. All right, that's legit. And that's another thing too. Consider, okay, what about somebody like Deborah Cox? She may be a descendant of those singer Deborah Cox. How did you get here? She may be a descendant of the black people who the Underground Rail, escaped into, slaves who escaped into Canada. So I mean, come on, especially that's what's really ridiculous when we're talking about black people North and South America. That's kind of we all descended from those enslaved in the Americas, and we gotta consider some of the initial people in this country were not, even with some of the initial black at the FBA site, they admit to what they claim the initial slaves in the what is now the United States. They came from yeah, from some Latin America. They were brought from some Latin American country. right? Now I'm not
I've
saying
never been on their
their
site.
origin. I'm not saying that was their, but they were initially. This is what it was implying, saying that they were initially enslaved in some Latin American country.
Mm.
We gotta remember, like, especially when okay, what about with the Louisiana, Louisiana? We know that Louisiana, and like, and of course there are countries that were part of like Mexico. I mean, this is all a part of the America. I understand us, uh, okay, actually, when you consider what delineation means, it actually just means making a clarification, drawing that line, and for the sake of clarification or to distinguish or differentiate. There's nothing wrong with that. But what they're doing with this FBA movement, it's divesting. That's what they're, you know, you know. And delineation is not necessarily divesting. I think we do need to acknowledge our differences, this, and that. But there's somebody, let's say they got a Jamaican grandparent, and they probably, just like my people, my family from the South. My parents were born in the South. But I actually never even been to Mississippi. I've been to the South, but I never, my family used to take them trips to Mississippi and they take the long car ride. I never rode with them. I've never actually been to Mississippi,
Sure.
you know? So I can't claim, so I can't really say that I'd be fronting if I was like I represent the dirty South. I would be fronting. So how we expect somebody, let's say their grandparent was from Jamaica, like what they're trying to do with Tasha K. And I don't even like Tasha K.
Tasha K, she might as well not even work again.
What you say now?
I said she might as well not even work again.
Oh, wait. Okay, but I gotta say this, brother. Why is it now? Because I was never fond of Tasha K. I'm not with all the when they just about. I don't know. I just don't like them Wendy Williams types. So I wasn't really fun, at least from what I was. It's one thing when you're just doing celebrity news or whatever, but with her, it just always seemed. So I never. But why is it now that Black Americans? It's okay if she's got when she was just gossiping on Black Americans, but why is it now that then Black Americans are offended? She
I
did not
mean,
say FBA is the KKK. She said the movement and its leaders. She compared it to the KKK, saying considering how they're being divisive, like a hate group. That's what she was saying. I don't know why people are acting, and they came at her husband, calling him an African booty scratcher, and she's supposed. It's expected that she defend her husband and her family.
you know, I didn't look at Tariq Nasheed's. You know, I didn't look at his video on it, but uh, I mean, look, it's. I think Tasha K. I'm very surprised that she came out and said stuff like that, considering her material that she puts out.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
when somebody, I'm sure that was okay. That's why I believe it was a setup, unless she's following a script. But it was like kind of a setup. It was you get a phone call, and I believe that's what they did with Godfrey. Somebody triggering you, and and you're gonna respond. And she got off the script, if you will, off cold. That's not what they wanted. Yeah, I no, I
I
think that
love
is,
Godfrey.
I think
I
that's
I
what they wanted her to say.
I love Godfrey. I think Godfrey is like. I wish he would get into Hollywood and be like an actor because he has like leading man qualities.
I
Like,
seen something. Well, it wasn't a leading man role, but I seen something with him not that long ago. It wasn't really a leading man. He was like just like a friend. I liked Godfrey from
Soul Plane.
no, no, heck, I ain't even watched that. I ain't waste my time watching that. Um, he used to. Well, I remember as far back as he became the new Seven Up man. Um, and I remember it was the VH1, like and I met him in real life. He was real. He was just just naturally just funny and charismatic. Really, really, he's real cool. But yeah, he was on the VH1 specials. I think he's good at what he's doing now. I think he's good at like uh, uh, Now I can't say I've ever actually watched him do stand up, but I think he's doing. I think he's in his lane. I'm liking what I'm hearing with the 154 podcast. I can't say that I got into. Now my husband watched that. What in God Free We Trust. I can't say that I got into the. Oh, I'm out there because my voice is like really going out. But yeah. But I think he's actually doing what he should be doing because they probably try to have him like a goofy Eddie Murphy. I don't know if he was doing. I could see him doing stuff like a kind of Beverly Hills Cop kind of thing. I don't know if I'd see him as something all that serious, but I wouldn't want him being reduced to like doing stuff. No disrespect to Kevin Hart, but I'm kind of cool with what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? I think because he was always good at giving good, funny commentary like on VH1 specials, like the I love the '80s, I love this, I love that. So I think he's, and that's why I believe definitely people. That's why Vlad TV deep down want him to come back. That's why Vlad TV is salty. He is really good at adding commentary.
I can't take Corey Holcomb serious.
Oh, Corey Hope.
Uh, Corey Holcomb is just he. I've never seen somebody smile so hard in their life. When Vlad was, I was disgusted.
That's no surprise. Corey Holcomb. Now, okay, it's definitely not my type of funny. I'm not gonna say he's not talented as a comedian, but I remember when late '90s, he was kind of on that shock jock kind of tip with comedy. I'm gonna joke on domestic violence and stuff like that. But I think that Corey up in social media, he's playing a role. I think he wants to seem as if he's okay, he's the reason he's not mainstream is because he's too real. So it's like he kind of want to make it seem like he's one of us. And I've talked about this before. Like he's just underground with us, and he's because he was too real for because he didn't do the casting couch or whatever, what he would usually say. But I think though, yeah, he's definitely paid under the table. I think there are certain people up in here they want I don't know, just like how with Fresh and Fit, they made it seem as if okay, we're actually uh uh being oppressed by cancel culture and this and that, but I definitely believe they're paid under the table to make it seem as if they're representing the real voices of men, the real voices that they're trying to silence, when they're actually playing a role. And I think, like, even with Corey
Ooh.
Holcomb, you can't tell me he didn't know that some of the things that he was saying, and this is after like 2010. You can't tell me he didn't know that that was some creepy stuff. It's like he know he was pushing buttons, saying certain things, almost like he's playing into a creepy uncle kind of stereotype. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I like that you brought that up, right? So it's kind of like one of my favorite comedians of all time, and he kind of helped me in forms of like he made understanding white supremacy funny. Is Paul Mooney, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite comedian actually.
And even though like there's indiscrepancies concerning Paul Mooney, especially in this day and age, um,
Are you talking about the
he,
accusations?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
that's what.
debunked that. I debunked that. I did videos debunking that. I may re-upload
Okay.
it.
Um, he he. I remember when I had bought his memoir, and it was called "Black is the New White," right?
Yeah, I purchased that.
And I was listening to like the press interview he did for it, and somebody asked him like why aren't you like big in Hollywood, whoop de woo, right? And he said, "I'm too black for Hollywood." Now I could believe that coming from Paul Mooney, even though he is a legend in the industry. I can believe that more coming from Paul than I would coming from Corey to an extent.
Yeah, I don't believe that at all with Corey. He's playing a role. It blew my mind to find out that he didn't even the what how he talks about like coming from the Robert Taylor homes. Come to find out, since the time of the early '80s, Okay, since he was like a preteen, even before he went into high school, even before he went into high school, he been on the north side of Chicago. He went to Sin High School. I found, yeah, okay, it was Taharka Bay, aka Morris World TV, that first exposed. When he showed and it said Sin High School, I'm like, wait a minute, that's something, that's Edgewater. And don't get me wrong, Edgewater, as I've talked about it, it wasn't, all that innocent now. Um, yeah, and he in the interview, there's an old interview. There's one of them interviews he probably wouldn't want you to find, where he's talking and where he's through Section 8, he said that he was able to from the projects to the north side, and he gives all this detail. So, but I understand that sometimes comedians they may be playing somewhat into a persona, like I'm a pimp, but they're not actually a pimp. I get it. But the way that he talk, like he's straight from the street, he ain't been Robert Tate. I'm gonna do my little research. So I definitely believe that Corey, and even if you listen to that interview, he talks. Yeah, it's the same accent, but I definitely believe that a lot of this is an act, and he's also playing into that, like a character, like this black brutish, you know, FAB, and I'm, like character. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like what you were saying with Paul Mooney, also he has said, but I'm gonna shut this down soon. But also he had said that, yeah, I remember him saying he was too black. He also said, I read that memoir as well. Yeah, black his autobiography, Black is the New White. But I remember him also saying another reason, and I don't know if you believe this, but he said also it was about him being, this is what Paul Mooney said, black and handsome, too black and also being handsome. Do you believe that? Like
You
saying
know,
that they were intimidated by him, because he did kind of look like Sam Cooke, where he actually played Sam Cooke in a movie on Buddy Holly and Sam Cooke. And
yeah, Paul. I think Paul was one of those people, like, cause I was like I've like watched all of his stand ups, and like it seemed like Paul was one of them cats where it's like, as he got older, like his looks kind of upgraded to an extent. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I mean, not to, but he was a handsome man. I get what he's saying though. Like I remember though, Cat Williams said this. He suggested the same thing. um, um, when he was talking. Now I don't know about Cat Williams. I'm not saying Cat Williams was ugly. I'm just saying he was. Cat, if you remember, Cat Williams was suggesting the same thing, but the way he was saying it, it was very mean because then he was naming comedians that he see as ugly. Like who's that brother from Chicago that was in Get Out, and I actually like him, and I felt that was kind of mean and unnecessary. But he was like saying like they want black men that funny and but not intimidating or something. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
Uh,
that's always been the game in Hollywood, though. I mean,
yeah.
even if we was to look at, let's bring up Paul Mooney again, right? He talked about who, are you familiar with this actor by the name of uh Calvin Lockhart?
Yes. He wasn't he like himself from the Caribbean or
Yeah,
wait?
he's Bahamian, same as
Yeah, my mama
Sidney
kind of
Poitier.
him. Wait, but I think yeah, my mom had like a little crush on him. Yeah, I know him.
So, Paul had talked about how he was real tight with Calvin back in the day, right? And he said one of Calvin's problems in Hollywood was that he kept looking at people in the eye too long, and he was arrogant. He said those Caribbeans be arrogant.
Wow. You look, he kind of had that style similar to Paul Moody. Now, when you think about it,
Yeah, they was real tight. Him and Paul was real tight.
yeah, because yeah, from Paul's autobiography, like he was always dressed really sharp. And he said, well, Paul Mooney said the only person that could compete with him with the girls was Huey Newton. He's because he was friends with Huey Newton.
Yep.
And he was yeah, because that's what people don't understand with Paul. He was raised by like people suspecting him gay. him as being gay, but he was raised by pretty much two mothers. His mother and he talked about like his grandmother. He had a whole chapter, if you recall, to his grandmother. Like she was a lot of his jokes and a lot of yeah, and so they said he talked about like he was spoiled, like he had all the nice clothes. Even Charlie Murphy talked about in what was the book I was reading on it was Charlie Murphy. Yeah, it was his. He was talking about how when they first and they didn't know who this was. This guy, like his clothes was pressed. And, yeah, they were like, "That's Paul Mooney." Eddie
I think
Murphy.
Paul.
Yeah,
I think he also wrote his autobiography that he got biracial children. I think.
yeah, he did. He had a total of 6 kids. He never actually divorced his wife. He never actually look at him dressed sharp. He never actually divorced his wife. So with Paul Mooney, I know we see this as kind of freak, but it was that time in the 70s. But yeah, you see here. Yeah, he never actually, but and his wife died not that long ago. A lot of people don't. His wife Yvonne, beautiful dark skinned sister who was a go go dancer. He never actually divorced her. They just separated after her own business. They just never. But yeah, he had 6 kids. Yeah, he had a set of twins. In the book it's kind of funny, like when he found out that what was the girl. Yeah, by the time he wasn't even out of high school, already had 3 kids. That's what a lot of people don't know. Um, Now we know his twin sons. They were kind of trying to do a little comedy. Let me see, Paul Mooney's children. Oh yeah, sadly he lost one of his sons.
Yep, that's Simeon.
Yeah, sadly, yeah, he lost one of his sons, and I don't think it was that long ago either, was it?
That
Yeah,
was
this is
like in. That was during his last comedy album. I think when he was at the Laugh Factory, it was dedicated to him.
yeah, sad to say. Yeah, this was his wife Yvonne. But he ain't had nothing bad to say about her. He said in the book when she got her own business and everything. But yeah, he was definitely my favorite. I'm not gonna lie, I have my little theories with Paul Mooney, but I knew that when he passed away, I was like, you know what? That's the comedy. He's one of the last of that generation. Well, I guess I got to say Bill Cosby is the last of that generation of the silent generation. I think that's the funniest generation of comedians. Even though I know that that doesn't include Red Fox, but being that Red Fox, I believe, is GI generation. But I think the
Yeah, Red
silent
Fox is like a couple years ahead, couple decades
right,
ahead of.
right.
He's like the vanguard. Like he was like the vanguard of black comedy for real, for real.
Yeah, him, people like Jackie Miles Mabley. But it's just that being that there were so many during that generation, the silent, especially those ones like born in the 1930s and early 40s, I think those are the funniest comedians. That includes Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney, Bill Cosby, who else? George Carlin, I'll add. I think those were the funniest comedians in my opinion, and they were raw. We don't talk because really it was the silent generation that kind of turned out the baby boomers. People blame the baby boomers for everything, but it was really those of the silent generation. They were the ones doing all that crazy stuff, you know. But yeah, and they that's where you got the I think the rawest comedy. Yeah, and I knew when he passed because I was listening to something one of Kevin Hart's last when he came back had the Netflix special a couple of years ago was it after the whole COVID thing, and it was so safe. Like people so scared now. They can't say this about the jab. Can't say that. Like not that long ago, some comedian Samoa got in trouble saying, "I'm like, oh gosh, I can't take it." But yeah, it was some. Yeah, what was the one with Kevin? It was after the whole pandemic, and yeah, I'm like, this is so like people are just so scared now. You can if you dare say any little thing. Like it was a guy on Big Brother just said something about I ain't doing no drag stuff. And now, that's being
Was
considered
that the
home.
dad where he walked off? He said, "I ain't doing this." Is that
It
what
was
you talking
the guy
about?
that was just voted off. They said that he MAGA his Kamu on Big Brother. All he said, because there was this guy, this gay guy that was on the Big Brother. He said, "No, I'm an MMA fighter. I can't." He said, "I can't do the, I can't something." He said with the drag, I got to protect my
Mhm.
image as an MMA fighter. So he's gotten all kind of trouble called. Well, not trouble literally, but they're calling him a homophobe and all this stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, it's like yeah, when Paul Mooney died, and that's the thing. You got people like Chris Rock. They want you to think that they're raw and bold like Paul Mooney. No, I just call those people conscious. He was Chris Rock. He wants you to think that he's like like a Paul Mooney. Like I remember when he had the what was the bigger and blacker or whatever. But no, he know
Yeah,
how
when he
far.
had that leather jacket, that's a
Yeah,
classic fit.
he
Like
know how far to go. But yeah,
that was between him. Go ahead.
yeah, but he know how far to go. He's not gonna. Yeah. I yeah, you got these ones. You may have these shock jocks, but no, when it comes to the real. Yeah, when Paul Mooney passed, I was like, that's totally the end of the era. But yeah, one of the very last surviving of that era is Bill Cosby of that
And
era.
it's interesting that you bring that up. Is like he was one of the last surviving ones. I remember when Paul Mooney did interviews for We All Be TV before he passed, and
Hmm.
Paul basically said like all my friends are gone.
Yeah,
Like Robin's gone.
yeah. I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but it just got me thinking what he said when somebody was interviewing. I remember. I think who was it that was interviewing? I don't think that was the We All BT. Even I'm subscribed to that channel. But I remember he said all the black people I know are dead. Somebody had asked him something, and that always had me cracking up. And
Yeah,
they were like,
see,
"What do you think about the black?" And then he cut them off. All the black people I know are dead. I don't know why, but I felt him on that because that's how I be sometimes feeling.
yeah, We All Be. They had a good little run when Dick Gregory was alive.
Yes, I'm still subscribed. I'm still subbed. Yeah, that was like you had a real black TV channel, Hezekiah News. You still got them. Don't get me wrong. But now YouTube, they just tripping. They tripping. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. And who knows? Next week, maybe I will. Rest in peace again, Michael Wright, Lattimore, and maybe I will. Maybe we can talk about some blues. Maybe we can talk about Tyrone Davis. Hole in the songs like "Hole in the Wall."
A hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Sit yourself down, girl, and talk to me.
See, you ain't gonna have no songs like that. Rest in peace to Lattimore. Yes, that was my favorite blues song, but I'm not too sad. He was 86 years old. I knew to expect this. I knew to expect this. He kind of worked to the end because I remember him doing shows, even though I've never seen him in the show, but that was my favorite. Like I said, that was the best blues, in my opinion, from that era, the 70s. That I love that more R&B. I can't say that I was as into the down on blues like the ZZ Hill and all that. I can't say I was as into that, but I'm noticing now that I'm older
They
that
hit
it's
different.
sounding good to me. I'm finding myself here and there kind of listening to like some old Tyrone Davis and stuff.
That ain't the way you make love, sweet darling. That ain't the way you make love.
Well, let me see. Oh goodness, what's
Can
the?
I change my mind? That song about Tyrone.
Oh yeah. Can,
That song. I don't want to sound
I just
crazy,
like
but
to start all over again. That's sounding good as hell to me now.
you
That is
know
sounding good to me now.
that song that's like a. To me, in my experience, that's a good that's a good breakdown of how y'all be when it come to when y'all got y'all mind set up. We want to talk about R. Kelly when a woman's made up. No, Tyrone
Yeah,
Davis said she didn't even bat an eye as I packed my bags to leave.
right. Only thing, only thing with the blues songs. This is the only thing. This is what turned me off from the blues songs. They talk about cheating too much. Yeah, you know, there's too many songs. Cheating in the next room. Too much on cheating. That's the thing that turned me off. So yeah, too much. I noticed this that white folks don't be knowing about them blues. So they know all they know is that harmonica. I'm not no diss to the harmonica era, if you will. They know that doom 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 doom, and I'm not trying to put down that more rock and roll, but they don't really know like down home blues, you
Yep.
know down home blues. All she wants to hear. Oh, yeah, I have man, I used to always have to watch Comedy Central, Fran, but it's been a minute. My husband, it's nobody has really even attracted me. Like, I'm not saying that I want a whole bunch of profanity, a whole bunch of shock jock. I just want people just stuff that like you just can't that was the thing, you could get away with talking about things in society. That's how we were able to even address racism, serious issues of racism. We could slide it through comedy. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely what Richard Pryor did, through comedy in addressing racism, even though I know that we shouldn't be laughing about certain things. But now people are afraid, and so I like raw comedy. I like, and like I said, even like with somebody like a Don Rickles. Okay, like people talking about there, this racist white guy who recently said something, right? But the thing is, okay, yeah, okay, let them say what they want. If they want to make racist jokes, go on, let them. As long as we can say what the hell we want. The thing I'm saying is with the white guy recently with the Kevin Hart, what was the joke? At least with Don Rickles.
That
I could say that there was a punchline, a joke, or it could be said that he was funny. Even if he was racist, even if it's not my style of comedy, I could at least say that he was funny or there was a joke. With this guy, what was the joke? You just try to shock somebody. That's like a person thinking it's funny, a kid thinking it's funny because he said his first curse word and think he got away with it. It's not, that's not a joke though. Ooh, I was able to say bitch, nobody heard, or just my
was
friend heard me. That's how I'm taking it. Like like a kid cursing around their friends. It's not really a joke, but it's funny to them because they got away with cursing.
Yeah, we're in the Joe Rogan era of comedy now. It's not. It don't even make any sense anymore. A lot of white comedians that are even edgier calling that type of comedy out, like Mark Maron.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
he,
let them be. They let them be. Let them do their thing. Let them do. Because they as my family, as the Southerners I know would say, they sniffing their bloomers or sniffing their draws. Let them, let them they feel, they becoming bold as long as we can say what the hell we want. Cause they got us up in here, like for instance in YouTube, where I'm now saying, oh, this person was unalive. It's we're talking, and with me, it's not about me being afraid. It's just the fact, okay, I do still got to go along with, because what's the point of me saying stuff if it ain't gonna get heard, So I understand you still got to follow the rules, but I'm gonna get to it. But if I was a comedian, then I just couldn't do it, because ain't no way if I can't it's just like us having a music discussion. Like, okay, me coming up in here, I was like, being that I was able to get this channel monetized, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't play Lattimore because, but no, forget that. I'm not going to talk about Lattimore without being able to play music. I can't do it. So I don't think I'm gonna ever make any money from this channel because there's no way I'm going to be able to talk about certain things and not be able to hear some music. You know what I'm saying? Right? Gotta say, didn't made grape a bad word? Now we gotta, when we think of grapes now, we gotta think of, right, that's crazy. How they got us up in here talking. Because even certain words like ugly and stuff, and every little thing is offensive, and that's why I'm not one. Yeah, let white folks. Yeah, some years ago, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of crazy up in here where you could just see the N word like it wasn't nothing. But that's what was so great about being able to block. That's one thing they got to censor, but it's hard now to block trolls. I used to love that YouTube used to have a feature. Like if you wanted to post something and you didn't want nothing, nobody commenting to you, they need to bring that back. I like that feature where you can leave a post and nobody can comment to you. Or yeah, as long as we have okay, let them say what they want to say. As long as we can say what the hell we want to say. That's. The people I do is smelling they piss. Yeah, the people I do this Southern family or like godparents. They was always saying smelling, you smelling, you sniffing your bloomers. Like when the child be acting up, showing out, they used to say sniffing your bloomers, smelling they piss. Oh goodness. Especially was always singing. I ain't just talking about the. Who said I was just talking about the men? I'm talking about the men and the women. Them blues songs, both the men and the women. The blues, they just sing about anything. But I remember it was first in the blues. We're talking about the down low even before. Yeah, it was first. What was that blues song that was from the '90s? Bill, the singer, passed away. I remember we was seeing that video on the box. It would play on the box. I remember when I caught on to what she was singing and saying. Bill was a friend. I was ready for marriage. Oh, I don't y'all remember that. All the time it was Bill that was sleeping with my man.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
think
wild.
yeah, I don't think there was any other song genre. I don't think no other song touched on that. I know we laughing, but that must have really happened to that woman. That's up. That's
He
real, man.
knows he can trust me with his life. He's be alone with his wife.
I wish you. Him and my husband be cracking me up.
That was a song
My
too.
husband, my husband, because he's so funny. Ironically, my husband was claiming, yeah, the cat, because I got my cat is kind of jealous and he's very clingy to me. My husband not that long ago said the cat, my cat Oreo, he looking at him like he's singing, I wish he didn't trust me. So,
I mean,
Oreo be climbing on the bed, acting like he jealous of my husband. Oh goodness, I think he really trusts me too much.
he had his headphones on. It just made that video funny because he looked like how they cut back when he had his headphones. I'm like, oh my god, that was for too though.
I do remember the video. I don't think it was on MTV, but I remember seeing that video played somewhere. We didn't have my family didn't have MTV, but that was played somewhere. Oh wait, you said no, actually the first download song. Oh, oh, for real? Oh, it's a sharp noise, Kuhadi. I'm gonna have to look into that. I guess what if I don't well, we can maybe say that song The Word Is Out by Jermaine Stewart. That you and I, but we didn't know what he was talking about. That you. That was a jam though. I don't know why they said Jermaine Stewart was a one hit wonder. Now that we know what we know, he probably talking about something else, like the word is out, like coming out the closet or something. That you and I love that you. Yeah. Yeah, that okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. Another man is beat. What? Dang. Let me guess. It was a blues song, wasn't it? That's the thing. What if there's kind of some truth to it? Like, when they were saying the blues, the devil's music. Maybe there's a reason why they was really, really strict about, gospel singers going into secular music. When you think
And
about
you know what happened to Al Green? Even though Al Green still do tours of his old songs.
My friend, I got a friend. She believe that. I don't want to believe that, and I prefer not to believe that, and I don't believe that. But my one friend, she believes she's an older woman. She believed that Al Green took that woman out. Like that's
Yeah,
what she.
that thing. I just, well, hey, I looked into that too.
Oh goodness, I ain't heard of that song. Y'all mentioned it. Dang, they was singing like that in 80, 84. Goodness. Wow. It's Barbara Mason. Hey,
Barbara May.
yeah, I'm gonna
She laid that song out.
that Barbara Mason? Hold on.
I can give them love. That's my song too.
What? Hey, by the way, is she still alive? Y'all got me curious. No, yeah, she's still alive, Barbara Mason. Goodness, who knew they was singing? If you heard, then you would remember. Okay, you got me now wanting to check it out. What's it called now? But and I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. I got to. Barbara Mason. What's the name of it again? I said Beaton. Is it? Is this it? Oh wow! So that's that same. She like mini Rich in here. Is this the song? Let me see. Wait a minute. I think I heard this beat before. Is this the song y'all talking about?
And I've got the man, well, the man that she had that I took from her.
Okay, no, this ain't it. Wait, is this the song or not? I think I heard of this. Wait. Yeah, I think this beat sound familiar. It sure got that 1984 sound.
Man, and I said, she's got. Do you remember when I said she's got the papers and I've got the
Oh, wait, no, but that's I do recall. Yeah, there was a yeah, she did do an answer, but it's the same woman that made Yes, I'm Ready. Oh my
well, the
goodness.
man that she had that I took from her
Yes, I remember this. I okay. Oh my gosh, y'all digging in my
is
head.
not the man child that we thought he was at all. Caught in the middle, I don't know what to do.
Oh
What
my
can I
gosh.
do when your man is untrue? There's another way, baby. My life. Look for another till I open my eyes. Man, let another God.
I'm done. I do recall this music for sure. I do. Oh my gosh! And I think they were playing this on the radio, weren't they? That's wrong. That's wrong. We weren't ready for that. Not on the radio. I did hear this music before. I just don't remember the song like that, but I do remember like certain parts of it. Oh goodness! And that's the same Barbara Mason. Yes, I'm red. That's the same with that innocent song. Well, that song wasn't so innocent. That's the same. I don't need. That's her.
Yeah,
Good
that song out.
bad girl. But even when you think about it, that song was fast. That song was fast. It sounded all innocent. Yes. Hey, Garwin.
Hey, hey, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Oh,
Lucy.
All right.
oh
Lachine, you make me come up in here, don't you? When you do your music topics.
my.
I'm about to say, you didn't know about this song as much as you say you know music. Come on
No,
now.
this is something that this is something I know. I heard it before. I heard it. It's
Right.
something when that part hit me. Another man. Yeah, I've heard that music. I heard it, but it's something they must have not continued to play on the radio. But I definitely recall. But I don't remember the words like that.
They used to play it at the clubs all the time back when it came out.
Oh my goodness. But that means if I heard of it and I know we didn't have this record, that means they were playing it on the radio. That's bad. That's bad. We weren't ready for that. Lyrics like that. But then again, we did have around that time the White Horse song. If you and I remember when they said the B word on the radio. I was a kid. I was like, "Oh,
That was about cocaine, though,
got to be yeah." I remember people was it heroin or cocaine? So definitely cocaine. It's confirmed.
or heroin, one of the, like you said. But and I could take it back even further. You familiar with Millie Jackson, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
She talked about a man being on the down low in one of her songs called "All the Way Lover" back in 1978.
Wow. Now I remember Millie Jackson. They didn't really play Millie Jackson on the radio like that. I remember that album with her on the toilet.
Oh no, this was from '78. The song is called "All the Way Lover." It's on YouTube. Check it out.
Oh my goodness. Now our people, oh goodness. So I guess this is what now because I'm telling you, with the song Bill, that blew my mind. And I was like,
Right, I remember that too.
Bill was a friend when I caught on and then people was it was on the box. I can't say I recall it on the radio, but it was definitely playing on the box. And that was my first time hearing stuff like that. And I remember when I finally caught on to what they was talking about with the wanted to be his stepmom. I felt that. But yeah, we were laugh looking at that like, oh my goodness. But it's sad because that means she really experienced that. I think she really experienced that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could. I don't know. Billy Jackson, what's Rocky for me? But I can't believe that. That means they were playing this song on radio. That means this here they were playing it on the radio.
Mhm.
Because otherwise, how would I have? It sounded familiar. Oh
Quiet
my
as
god.
kept. Check this out. Quiet as kept. They played that song "All the Way Lover" on the radio, but they edited it. Now, if
Oh,
you want the yeah, by Millie Jackson. If you want the unedited version, you had to buy the album. Also, you could check it on YouTube. Like I said, it's on here.
oh my goodness. Well, one thing I didn't know until very recently, I didn't know that. Well, I don't want to. Yeah, not get to that. Now I'm scared that yeah, it was the Sanctify. I did not because I remember it was a hit
Oh,
on
by
the.
Marvin Gaye.
I did not know
Yo, that wasn't the original lyrics
that wasn't
exactly.
until a couple of months ago. Until a couple of months ago in YouTube, and I'm like, what is they talking about in the comment section? And I looked into it. I said, let me type in these lyrics. I did not know that. I said, that is wrong. That is
Exactly.
really wrong.
But you say you know music. Come on now.
But I was also a kid too with some of that stuff.
Did you know Marvin Gaye purposely pushed out a bad album because he didn't want to give Anna Gordy the money to
Oh wait,
for the
he got
divorce proceedings? Where'd he go?
yeah. It's probably an accident. Accidentally got disconnected. Now, what you say? You said
Marvin Gaye pushed out a bad album called Anna because he didn't want to give Anna Gordy no money for alimony because
wow.
when they went through a divorce. They said whatever you make on your next album goes directly to her. And so they had interviews of his former like bandmates that was like recording the song in the studio for him. And they
Hmm.
said He said, Marvin, what are you doing, man? Like, this is terrible. He said, I don't know. They just said I'm supposed to make an album. And when you listen to Anna, the album, it just it's terrible.
I couldn't imagine spending time in a studio of writing and just for something that I don't even like. As an artist, I could not find myself doing it, if that's true.
But it was still good. But it was literally like he's like like it's crazy. He even talks about his divorce proceeding. He said, "This is a joke. I need a smoke."
It would have been funny though if it would have been like really really blew up. Kind of remind me, it was a cartoon. Okay, I know y'all may not know cartoons of Rocco's Modern Life. Brilliant, brilliant cartoon, slept on, and yeah, okay, the Ralph Big Head. He wanted to get out of his cartooning, his contract. He wanted to do other art, right? He wanted to, get his, Hollywood contract canceled. So he was purposely making crappy like shows. Yeah, he had hired Rocco and his friends to make this wacky deli that was really and it was a big hit, right? And everything he kept trying to do. Like, okay, he said, you know what? I'm just gonna shoot a jar of mayonnaise, right? And let that play for the whole episode. Because he was trying to get out of these. And then it was a big hit. They thinking it was a tribute to Warhol, Andy Warhol. But yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know if it was one of the most famous episodes. Oh, what happened to Gary? Wacky Deli. But I'm gonna have to shut this down because I'm so hungry now. Also, and I'm tired. But yeah. Say when I got older. Oh yes, I love Rocco. I slept on that in the '90s. It was like more so the 2000s that I discovered Rocco. That was a funny cartoon. The writers from SpongeBob and stuff were originally on Rocco. But that was actually funny, but it was kind of adult though. Rocco's Modern Life. That was kind of some of them, yeah, Spanish fly jokes. Some of them jokes was kind of little, adult. But then when you think about it, from the beginning, cartoons were intended for like adults, I think. But yeah, well, I would say anything you want to add, yeah, Garwin? You want to?
Yeah, my Wi-Fi went out, so you asked me a question. What was the question
Oh,
earlier?
I'm
It
not.
was about Barbara Mason, something like that, or Marvin Gaye, or one of the two.
No, no, he was speaking on. He said that Marvin Gaye had purposely did a bad album, being that what you say, but being that he in to pay alimony.
Oh yeah, the album was called "Here, My Dear." I remember that album. It
Uh,
came out in like late 1978.
yeah, and I was saying I can't imagine, like as an artist, I just could not do that. Purposely doing something bad where I'm putting my time and I got to put my time, effort, talent into, you know. I
Yeah,
can't.
just listen to the album. Just listen to it.
You're right, exactly. But you got to remember at that time, Marvin was kind of being rebellious against Motown because he divorced Barry Gordy's sister at that time. And, there was kind of some bad blood there. Because you got to remember, the reason Marvin left Motown was because they put out an album without his permission. And he was living overseas at the time. And he
Oh,
found out they put that. The matter of fact, the name of the album is called "In Our Lifetime." It came out in
oh yes.
1981.
No, you didn't. No, you're not, Fred. Mentioned the eight tracks, lie. But we up in here showing our age. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I saw something you posted earlier. You said that. Did you say Paul Mooney was sued or the?
Yes, he was because they didn't use give permission to use Sam Cooke's likeness and that song in that movie Buddy Holly
So
But why?
he was
But why
sued.
would Paul Mooney be sued though? He wasn't.
because he was portraying Sam Cooke. They also went after the producers, if I'm correct, because I remember reading about it in Jet magazine at the time.
Really? But
Yeah,
why?
really.
But no, I mean, it's not fair to sue I mean, Paul Mooney because he
I
was.
know, but it is what it is. I'm just telling you what I read. Okay. That's the way it was posted in the magazine.
Can they do? Can you do that? Like if somebody's if you're hired and can you do that?
Seems like it, because according to that, yes, they did. Because
Wow.
also the thing about this, back in the '60s, Barry Gordy wanted to do a biopic on Sam Cooke, but it never got off the ground because again, he couldn't get the permission to use Sam's music.
But come okay, well hold on. I'm gonna have to share this because you can't deny they look very similar. You cannot deny it. Yeah, they look very similar. You know, got kind of got the same face shape and all.
They claim that he was really that Sam Cooke was really tight with Malcolm X and Dr. King. I think I've heard that before.
Oh yeah, I think for
Yes,
me, it's like now it's okay, it's safe to talk about it because you know one of the first videos I had flagged down was the video where I was going into, and that was years ago. It was like or not flagged down, but where they removed, and it wasn't about copyright. It was video on Sam Cooke because I was like, okay, it's kind of like an anniversary.
the anniversary of his death. I remember that
Right,
video.
you remember? And
Yes, I
they
do.
YouTube removed it. But why is it that later CD Fury could talk about it? I didn't understand that. Or was it that I was presenting information they didn't want you to know? Was that it? I don't know. That was like real questionable. But now I see that I'm kind of surprised. I guess it's safe because I guess because everybody's gone now.
Exactly.
Yeah, is that what it is? Because
Yes.
I'm noticing now they're talking about it all on Netflix and stuff.
Yep.
And you could talk about it all now. And I was kind of surprised with, what.
And still also we was talking about permission to use the likeness and copyrights. Now you certain record companies, if you use play certain songs, you have to get permission. And you notice here on YouTube your videos get flagged if you play certain songs. You
Yeah,
notice that, Lashid? See?
yeah.
So that's
Oh,
what it's all about.
this sucks now. We
Yeah,
gotta.
exactly.
What we gonna do about this?
Because also I found Lashid. Remember a while ago we was talking about Unsung. Remember that? And
Yeah,
they was gonna do one on Jackie Wilson. Well, they
Oh
couldn't
yeah,
do
I
it
know what
because
you
they
about to
couldn't
say.
use
I
his
know what you about to
songs.
say.
Right. They
wow.
could not get permission to use his songs.
And what you say, Kuani?
Mm,
Wow.
and another thing about Jackie Wilson, look at what I think her name, Patti LaBelle, said
Right.
she had something going on. Well, something happened between her and Jackie Wilson, which
Exactly.
it. Oh Lord, it's
Wait, what?
crazy.
Say what?
Something happened between Jackie Wilson and Patti LaBelle back in the day, and ooh, it
I read her
it's
book. I know
hard.
exactly what you're talking about.
What? So,
Yep.
oh goodness, I don't. What? So, do you agree or disagree with her, or I don't know.
All I would say is something happened.
Is she saying
According to
that he assaulted her or something?
Yes.
some happened.
Something like that. Something like that.
Wow.
He
Damn.
said she could smell the alcohol on his breath and all that. So
Yep. I read the book.
Oh my gosh. Damn. That's crazy. What's name just shared with me Azure TV. He shared me on his
And
chat.
you got to remember Alexis K. Tyler, that's his daughter. And she's a product of
Say
that
what?
work.
Wait, hold on. I know that name. Ain't that like some Vixen or something?
She was a
Ale-
YouTuber back in the day. She ain't
Yeah.
around no more. She ain't around like she used to be no more. But
That's
yeah.
you. You telling me this is Jackie Wilson's daughter?
Yep.
No, that doesn't make sense. Why ain't she got a wiki page? Wait, hold on. You telling me this is Jackie Wilson's daughter?
Yep.
That don't make sense. I mean, where's her YouTube? Or Wow, this is. I mean, yeah. I mean, she could pass for his daughter. I'm just. But why? Wouldn't we have known that? Wouldn't that have been something? That's another thing I noticed that they just don't talk about Jackie Wilson. That's something. Cause
because there was a lot of issues going on with that man. He fathered many children out of wedlock. Many.
yeah,
He was supposedly reportedly fathered over 18 children in his lifetime.
Yeah,
Yep. He had his first child at the age of 15.
that's who else had their first child at like I think 15 to 13?
Who?
Joe White.
Mm,
who? Oh, that singer
yeah.
Joe. Okay.
Yeah.
But wait, hold on. Jackie Wilson, though, he died like wasn't that like 84 or something?
Yeah, 84. Remember, but he
But
slipped. He had
how
a
how
cardiac arrest and he hit his head and was in a coma for a while. And he basically was in a vegetative state from 1975 up until his death in 1984.
they never talked about that.
You never knew? You didn't know about this?
I just know
Wow.
no. I remember you telling me something on that, but that okay, but how could he have had her? She looks kind of young. I thought she was kind of young.
Okay.
She looked like I thought she's like a millennial or something.
No, she's older than us. I mean,
Well,
she's
I gotta. Well, if this is how she looks, she looks great. Then I gotta say,
because Jackie fathered his last child in 1973, 1972. He had the daughter's name is LaShawn.
I think I've even interacted with this person in YouTube. Are you for real? That's
For
crazy.
real. I knew some of his children personally.
Damn. Man, it was something else I was gonna say and it slipped my mind. No, no, Joe White, I think he said. Oh yeah, also
Oh,
something that Fran was saying. Hold on. He's saying okay. You can sue anybody. That doesn't mean the lawsuit won't be thrown out. Yeah. Well, I just, being that that wasn't his project, that's like Lil Kim suing because she didn't want Naturi playing her, but she's
That was
suing
wild.
Naturi.
yeah.
That I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's like Naturi Naughton. Like, could she sue? I mean, could Lil Kim like sue the young actress Naturi Naughton because she didn't want her playing her in the film? You
If she
know,
owned the rights
along
to her
with
music and whatnot, she could.
the young actress and not,
If Little Kim owned the rights to her music, she could.
okay, that don't.
That's what I said. Sam Cooke's widow
I
Barbara owned the rights to that
but that's what you do in
music and
acting.
everything. And
In
then she
acting,
turned around and sold it to a guy named Alan Klein.
but you would sue the director. You would sue
Right. I agree with you
the
wholeheartedly. You
yeah.
get
That's what's not making because that's what actors do. They're hired just to. That's what I don't understand
right.
because they're doing the craft of acting. Like if somebody was to tell me to act like Little Miss Muppet, you understand what I'm saying, or act like you know what I'm saying, act like Diana Ross. You know how you lead. That's the
You
art of
can't play,
acting.
but you
Act
couldn't
like
pass
Shakespeare.
Diana Ross.
But you know what I'm saying. Act
But
like I could do like remember Whoopi Goldberg. That was funny.
no, not
You remember?
Whoopi
Hold
Goldberg
on.
either.
No, remember, no. She was. It
No, you
was.
probably do Gladys
You
Knight.
remember? You remember with Jumping Jack Fast when she went on
Right,
stage. I need you know Diana Ross do them face.
right.
That was kind of funny, yo. I need love, love.
Right, but you playing Diana Ross, that would never go. That would never fly.
It's some people though, like some comedians, that they can embody where almost like you can see that person because they're so good at imitating.
Hmm.
You know one thing? I thought that nobody could imitate Denzel Washington, right? This one comedian, because he was able to tap into, and I noticed this about Denzel Washington. He's a great actor, but you notice he talked the same way in every movie.
Right. That's why that Malcolm X movie really didn't fly.
What you talking about?
Denzel has a
Kick
tenor
him off the
voice.
show.
Malcolm
Kick,
X had
kick
a
him off the
baritone
show.
voice.
But he
Kick him
still
off the show.
wait
Talk
a
about that.
minute. Nah, he was great
Kick him
though.
off the show.
Oh, I'm sorry. What you
Go
say?
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Kick him
I'm,
off the show. Don't talk about that. That's he embodied Malcolm X.
oh, he offended that you with it. I thought he did good as Malcolm, because from at least from the interviews. Of course, I wasn't alive when Malcolm X was alive, but from what I've seen in interviews, he was able to get the manner. But he still talked like Denzel Washington, though.
Exact. That was my point.
But yet it's still that's what's interesting. He's still a great
Because that
actor, even
that
though.
one actor in that movie, no, in that miniseries, Godfather Harlem, does a better job of Malcolm.
Nigel Thatch. He
Yeah,
sounds just Malcolm
Who?
too.
right, exactly.
Who?
Nigel
Nigel Thatch.
Thatch.
What's his name? I don't know.
Nigel Thatch.
Nigel. What? Fat?
No, Thatch, if I'm correct.
He literally sounds just
Oh,
like he has that same
Yes,
like
he
he
does.
got a baritone voice. Like I'm like,
oh, I
wait
never
a minute,
seen. I never
that's his
seen him.
natural voice. Like
Oh, I remember somebody shared a clip. Yeah, that Hybrid Vicky shared a clip for some film that I know it was some fabricated. What it is. Yeah. But okay, I think that I'm familiar with this actor. But yeah, he definitely does look like Malcolm X.
See
Yeah.
my point? That's my point. Y'all don't want to hear me. Y'all might as well say Chadwick Boseman got James Brown down pat, which is
oh,
straight bullshit.
yes, he did. That
Oh
was
no, he did. Oh no, you no.
oh,
He danced too slow. I saw that movie Get On Up. No, he could not do no James Brown.
I remember my husband. He wanted me to
oh,
watch it with him. I,
you
I
know,
wasn't. I didn't really watch it. I wasn't really interested in watching it. I don't know.
did you know did you
And
know
he's
that
like
Brown?
Eddie Murphy doing a Saturday Night Live parody. That's what it reminded me of.
Oh, now that was wrong for having Eddie Murphy play Rudy Raymore.
I agree on that, most
Oh,
definitely.
thank you. Oh my gosh. I
Eddie
was looking
Murphy is
for it.
like tall, and Rudy Raymore was like short. Like he's short and kind of fat. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Oh man.
I had to go to my. Oh goodness. What was I about to say? Damn it. Oh yeah, with the damn dollar. Thank you. Ooh, I wanted to come up here because but everybody was praising it. You know that's the
Right, that right, Rudy Ray Moore movie. Yeah.
I didn't like that. I
Me
like
neither.
Eddie Murphy, but don't get me wrong. That was I had to call my best friend because when I looked online, when I looked in YouTube, everybody was praising. I said,
Right.
let me call my best friend, and I was like, because I know she loved Dolomite like I love the Dolomite movies, and I was like, were you feeling that? And she was like, hell no. Nah. No, I mean. I'm not saying it wasn't a good movie, but that wasn't no Rudy Ray Moore. That wasn't. I'm sorry. And Eddie Murphy is one of the most talented, but that wasn't. It's not about whether or not he can act or not, but that wasn't. He to New York. He couldn't kept. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't. No, Eddie Murphy is just
And
not connected with the South like that. He may pretend to be like the barber at the barber shop and Coming to America, but it's like an exaggerated Southern accent.
Right. He got too much New York in him to try
Right,
to
exactly. He's too New York. Right. See, I know what's up. I know Dolomite. Man, get out
it
my way
was
and let me pass. So I have to. Yeah. Oh man, we used to love watching us. I was so I wasn't so disappointed, but it was like it just was. It's like it was another movie. It was a good movie, but it wasn't Rudy Ray Moore. The movie was
and
good.
it was wrong for having Idris Elba play Nelson Mandela.
Say what?
Yeah, see? That's all the point I was trying to make. But y'all
I
came
don't
down
know.
on me. I'm sick of this shit.
No, but this man was off. This man was off
Oh,
limits. I'm
hold the phone. Wait, I got it. I'm gonna have to look that up. Hold on. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. He just hold on.
just look it
Uh,
up. They got Idris Elba in the wig. Like that's
Nelson
just
Bell.
like
That don't make sense. That's just
Like,
them going
they
along.
had they had Morgan Freeman play Malcolm X too. So
Hey, hello. I can see even Morgan, but that don't make sense. What do you?
they
Now
just
I tell you one who did play Malcolm pretty good. Your boy Pretty Tony in the Mac. I forget his name. He did a good job in Malcolm.
Al Freeman Jr. That's who you talking about.
No, no, no. He played. There's a movie called The Mac. You familiar with the movie, Lashid? He played
Yeah,
Pretty Tony.
yeah. He died another a couple years
Yeah,
ago. Yeah.
yeah. He did a good job as Malcolm.
Okay. I don't know when. What was he Malcolm in though?
He was in Malcolm in that movie series about Martin Luther King back in the late '70s when Paul Winfield portrayed Martin Luther
That was a
King.
brilliant
That
portrayal. I
Oh, you
like that.
remember that? That's it. Yeah, he was in that.
When the hell did this happen here?
What? It was back in the late '70s.
No,
They
I
did
mean,
it. What?
but,
What?
but this right here,
Oh,
with
this right
Nelson
here.
Mandela,
Oh,
when
I
did this
don't even.
happen?
You
Yeah.
tell me. I don't know.
So they actually aged him, or they gotta stop. This is well, of course, the craziest was with the that girl, what's her name, the Zoe Saldana, and
They put
uh,
her in blackface. That looked
that
like that stuff that they put
prosthetic
Prince
nose. Come on now.
in Tropic Thunder.
Well, what about okay? What about in that case? What about with Lawrence Fishburne, Ike Turner?
That was brilliant. I like he could get away with that.
Yeah, I think because we just like Lawrence Fishburne. I think it's just like what they were saying with the Mommy Dearest Faye Dunaway. They said that there's Joan Crawford, the real Joan Crawford, and then there's Faye Dunaway's Joan Crawford. I think a lot of people prefer Faye Dunaway's,
Right.
even though it's over the top.
Yeah,
Don't
they said it
I mean,
was that
that was
exaggerating.
Barbara, please. And I think you're underreacting. but oh my god! But when the hell did this happen? Okay, I'm.
Now Naomi Harris did look like Winnie though.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm like, when did this? You see,
E-
I'm out of the loop. When the heck did this
Even
happen?
even they had Sidney Poitier play Nelson Mandela.
Oh, Sidney Poitier. Oh, good, goodness, come on now. See,
He
that's
They
what
played
had,
you.
Thurgood Marshall too.
Okay, all right, I'm done. I can't.
and they
Wait,
had the Allstate guy play Nelson Mandela too.
Right.
they must think we all look the same or something. I
Yeah,
don't
you know they had that stereotype about us. Come on now.
They literally they literally had like they
know.
had Chadwick Boseman play Thurgood Marshall. I'm done.
Oh. How the hell she was scary as hell, Faye Dunaway. This is when a person can be scary and they ain't even make them to look. Like she wasn't intended to be a monster. Like, yeah, she was scared. Can you imagine your mama? Well, yeah. She- But I understand. I ain't gonna lie. I think I did was a little obsessive compulsive. That's what that was. That was obsessive compulsive.
Right.
They said people were mad though when she did this book though, like because white people love Joan Crawford. My mother used to love that movie Mildred Pierce,
Uh-huh.
but I saw something where they had a list of Hollywood actors and you didn't know were racist or something, and they listed her. I don't
Oh,
know
there's
how,
quite a few of them that are racist.
but I don't know because okay, I think they had like Audrey Hepburn, but then I learned that the opposite about Audrey Hepburn. I thought that she
Richard Burton, he's on there too.
Yeah, I thought
Right.
even I think that's what even led to her death. Audrey Hepburn helping children and all that in Africa, and I mean not like Bill Gates, but I thought that the opposite. So I don't know. I think some things though it may be a misunderstanding or misconstrued or misinformation because they also had like Audrey. Yeah, and I think they had. I didn't know certain things with Shirley Temple. Like what? Yeah, wasn't she friends? Didn't she, Fran, have like a relationship with Bill Bojangles Robinson? Well, I guess that don't mean nothing when you're kids, huh?
Right. But that's what I've heard also.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of hard to hear because I do love the movie It's a Wonderful Life. It was kind of hard to hear Jimmy Stewart makes a wonderful
You can
life.
love the art. You can hate the artist, but love the work.
True that.
Like
Mm.
it broke my heart when my stepdad told me that John Wayne didn't like black people. I love watching AMC, and I was like, no, not John Wayne. I love John Wayne.
Oh, man.
He was racist as hell.
Oh, hell yeah.
That
And
broke
so
my
was
heart.
Elvis.
I'm like,
Wait,
I can't
okay,
watch
okay.
John Wayne.
That Elvis, I'm kind of conflicted. I'm kind of conflicted because do you
Why
think
you conflicted? What did he say back in 1957? The only thing a black person could do for him was shine his shoes.
I'm trying to
that?
figure out if they're real or not.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of wonder if that was like some sort of sabotage. That's only because of certain information that over time.
Okay, lay out this information, please. I mean,
All right,
correct me if I'm wrong.
how do
I
we
will
go into
stand corrected.
the
No problem on
conspiracy
that.
vault? I will go into the conspiracy vault. But oh gosh, I can't recall. But I did gather like over time some information that he might have been lied on. You remember how like for instance when they claimed Lauryn Hill said something that she absolutely about white I don't do my music for white people or something they almost like they were purposely trying to sabotage her. Uh,
Okay.
and I'm not saying I'm not saying, and I also and then I just watch certain things. Now there are things about Elvis I don't like. Definitely with him being underage girls, but the whole
Marvin,
racist. Okay, now his I know it's crazy to say his maid. She claimed that he was absolutely not racist, and she showed the home that he bought her and all this stuff, and but it could have been a thing of sometimes you had these white folks where they'll say stuff in front of their people to look good to their people. So it could have been something like that. There are people personally saying they knew that absolutely he was not racist. And I remember also hearing that he said that he believed that that Jimi Hendrix was killed or something because he became too uppity or something like he was kind of talking too much on the song. I don't know. I've just heard some different things over here.
did
You
you
know.
know Vincent Price?
Oh yeah,
He
he was. Oh, I'm sorry. One last thing. He was friends with Red Fox. It's believed that he was because he was also friends Elvis Presley. And I don't know. I think he may have gotten Red Fox or vice versa into the cocaine. That's what I
yeah.
or something like that I heard. But Elvis was also friends with Red Fox. But I don't know. I don't know. I think I heard that. But he could have said that though. He could have said that like, sometimes you have white people even if they don't really believe that, but that still make you a racist though. That to me that makes you even worse if you're saying something
Yeah.
to please white people. So, but it just in all fairness, I'm just saying uh oh yeah. I'm sorry, what were you saying? I'm sorry, please forgive me.
You know Vincent Price was he was bi.
Oh, that ain't hard to believe. That's not hard to believe. Yeah. I could have. I
Oh.
probably could have. Serial mom. It's crazy. I probably could have guessed that with Vincent and Roddy McDowell. I could have. I can kind of guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look,
Vincent Price. That's not too hard to believe.
look at how he looking. Just he look.
it, it was certain people I used to think that they were just suave. I went back when I didn't know what gay was as a child. I just thought like
Very Grant. He was the
that
same
guy used
way.
to get bewitched. I used to just think he was eccentric or suave or fancy. That guy that was on used to be on Bewitched. Yeah, but that is not at all hard for me to believe with Vincent Price. Or I'm pretty sure with Roddy McDowell. Okay, we were to talk about certain but I
Yeah,
liked him.
look at that picture where he got the scarf on. Look at it. Look at him.
Wait,
Look
wait,
at
oh,
he got the scarf.
we gonna get in trouble. But he was a great actor. I like Roddy McDowell. Who's another one? Oh yeah, we were talking about women. What's that woman who was what's that woman? You can't tell me from the Beverly Hillbillies. What was her name?
Which
Is
one, the old lady or the younger one?
the secretary? What was her name?
She Nancy Cole. She was also on Sanford and Son. She played Hoppy's
Yeah.
mama. Right.
Now
That's her.
you know that
That's
she.
her.
Come on,
She was like,
you can't tell me that she wasn't. Look at her. She was funny though. I liked her. She was funny as hell. I love the Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was funny as hell. Look at her. But yeah, if we were to talk about down low celebs that may have been, and some people are like I do believe like hey, they're just metrosexual. They're not necessarily gay, but let's say they grew up just like what I don't like that term, but the tomboy as they refer. Some people are just like I used to be referred to as a tomboy. But I do think Nancy Cope. I think she was like what in the closet or whatever you would have called it back then, or they or had it. But I can imagine how that blew their mind with what's that actor that the one that had the Rock Hudson?
Oh, Ben knew about that.
How you
they
say? No, you
they
did not. You know about that?
Because now I'm gonna tell you, there was this story going on that basically he would go out with okay, back then they called these men vagrants, and he would basically give them like $50 to sleep with him. And
Did you really know that before he died? Because there
back then,
is nothing
because
that included. I
that
would
was
not have
$50 back in the 50s and 60s was a lot of money. You could do some things with it.
because I
Okay,
remember him even before he died. He was on Dynasty because my mama we
right.
watched Dynasty. He did not. I don't. Because usually you can see them signs. You can.
Right. But also, he had that one disease that Jim Henson died from, where you don't clean up after yourself, you don't wash your hands after you use the bathroom or something. I
I
forget the name of the disease, but Jim Henson, that Muppeteer, he died from it.
I thought Jim Henson died of pneumonia. That's what I thought.
No, it was some type of. Let me go to Wikipedia and check this out so I can,
Oh wow.
tell you.
Yeah, but with Rock Hudson, and I remember them old movies like my mom.
It's an
I
unsanitary
would
disease,
not have
basically.
picked that up with him because certain people you're not surprised, but with Rock, I'm gonna tell you one thing, and I don't care what they didn't put some voodoo on him. What's the you know what I'm talking about? Damn it, you
Anthony
can't
Clayton.
tell me
150's actor, he
this
didn't
guy.
die back in those days.
He was
He
not.
he faked his death.
They did something to his mind. He was not no gay. Did you? Bruce Jenner, there was nothing. And he wants to be a whole woman. No. They did something. They didn't put some spell or something on Bruce
Don't
Jenner.
try to justify that.
No, no.
Justify
It ain't about, I don't even care about Bruce Jenner. But he was not no gay man. Come on. Even OJ Simpson was like, I don't know who the hell. He said, I know Bruce. I don't know who Jenner. What was the name he took on? Kylie or what was the name? He be Caitlyn. He's like, I don't know who the hell that is. Because even OJ know that this some bullshit. That wasn't a damn thing. And all these years, and he won it. Now, when Barry Manilow, that wasn't really shocking. Come on. And he wanted to, they did something to him. Them some witches. Those are some gypsies. The Kardashians are some gypsies. They put a spell on this dude. They put a spell on him. I'll put a spell on you. I'm telling you, they put a spell on this dude.
Cary Grant was that way too.
You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? See, Fran film. Y'all think I'm joking? They are some witches. They did. They put some sort of spell on this man. You see what happened to the men that end up with him? You see what ended up happening to him? They putting spells on. What? Come on, you would have saw something. Hey, there wasn't a damn thing, and I'm not just saying this because he was an athlete. There wasn't a damn thing that and then not just gay, but he wanted all his life he wanted to be a woman. Come on now, get the hell out of it. You can't I'm not buying it. I'm not right. They destroyed exactly. They some gypsies. She was a gypsy. They are some gypsies. Need some vampires or something. All the men that come on. They doing something. There was nothing, and I am not just saying this because he's an athlete. It's not just that. Because not only is one thing if he was getting, come on, and then all these years later, but he wants to be a woman, a whole woman now. Come on now. We might get in trouble just for saying this stuff. Yeah, and there's testimony even to this. There's people saying that claim they work for. Right, exactly. They doing something. They do it. So I'm telling you, I'm telling you, DJ Mega Aim. I remember him as a kid. I can't say that I was ever fond of Bruce, but I mean Bruce Jenner. But there was no, and it's not just the fact. Okay, if they would have said he was like bisexual, gay, but no, and then the fact he now wants to be a whole woman. No, no.
You too defending of these people sometimes, Lashid.
No, what I'm saying is I don't even care. I don't even like Bruce. What I'm saying is no, there was nothing that no. Okay, all right. In all fairness, this is the look of the 70s. I know it kind of look a little spicy, but that's the look of the that's
I
just
remember that, yeah. Them leisure suits and all like that.
come on. He even wanted to be a woman now. Like, and then they make it like that was what he wanted all his life. Come on. Okay, who's somebody I could think of? If Michael Jordan came out and oh, you know what, I wanted to be a woman. You know you ain't gonna believe that. You
Of
gonna
course
think,
not him.
right, exactly. Come on, and you've known Bruce Jenner even longer, right? You knew of Bruce Jenner even longer, even if we don't know him personally. But there are certain things like Barry Manilow.
Now,
That's
let's say if now Disney's Rodman, that's a different story.
oh, oh God. I'd be shocked if he came out as straight. Supposedly, that's what would shock me. But who is that? Oh goodness, who is that? Oh my goodness, who is that?
Michael Jordan was a poor example to use.
No, I'm just saying, like a fellow athlete. No, but
Okay.
but that's how I see it with Bruce. It's not even about whether or not I like. There was nothing with Bruce Jenner that, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely nothing. And all these years, remember Bruce, all these decades. Well, like I say, yeah, like in the case of Barry Manilow, that's not too surprising.
Valid point.
Who's
That's not.
Barry Manilow?
He was
You know who Barry
he
Manilow is?
was real popular in the 70s.
Yeah. Now Barry Manilow, he kind of had a Horseshack thing happen.
Right.
you know, so
I mean, you never seen him with a female.
yeah, I try to leave it alone with Luther Vandross. But I'm gonna tell you something. I don't. Maybe it's the thing I don't want to believe. And do you believe that George Jefferson, Sherman Hemsley? Do you believe what they saying now that he
Yeah,
was?
but
Yeah,
what's the name? He already talked about it.
But
My
yeah,
man,
exactly.
he talks about it.
His
Y'all,
his co-star even said it. Not the first
but,
Lionel, but the second Lionel, Damon Evans,
you
because
can't
he's
trust.
gay.
You can't trust the second Lionel because he
now,
ain't the original Lionel.
what's the dark skinned guy name? The
But
dark skinned actor. Garrett Morris talked about it on Vlad.
exactly. Yes,
Oh,
he
really?
did. Yes, he did.
Oh, wow. I
And
guess
you
it's
know he old school because he didn't do that. He waited till he was
okay. If Garrett
blind.
Morris said, I guess I gotta believe it. I don't trust the second Lionel because he the second Lionel.
But he worked with him. Come on.
Yeah, sometimes them gay people be wanting everybody to be gay with them. You know what I'm saying? And they be wanting to believe that.
Trying to
But
convert. Is that what you saying? Just call it what it
but
is.
I remember Sherman Hemsley dating that girl from. She was on the show Fame. It was like this one, like mixed girl that was for a minute on the show Fame or something. She had like really really short dyed hair. Man, okay,
No, I don't know nothing
that's
about this. Tell me
that's a
more.
tough one. That's a tough. I remember my mom used to get them tabloids. and he was all cheesing and stuff, but I cannot find it. And he was that's what I want. But if you say only reason I'm gonna believe it because you said Garrett Morris said it, and I don't think he's gonna lie
What
on
is
that.
it you don't trust about the second Lionel? Talk to me. Let me know what's up.
Because he's the second liner, and I ain't like that.
Oh, that. Oh, didn't nobody like him because he was that. He had that geeky nerd. Can I talk, please? He was that geeky, nerdy Lionel, not like the original Lionel who was cool and hip. I
Right,
get your point
exactly,
there.
exactly. So why should I? Hold on. Why should I? Listen to him. He ain't even the real Lionel. Shit. Oh, oh.
That's the first Lionel right there.
Yeah, yeah. The first one. Yeah, Mike Evans, also a writer for Good Time.
Right,
Yeah, that's the Lionel that I like on the left.
right, right. I know what's up.
This guy, the guy on the right, was Goober. So I ain't even trying to hear him. He came later. He came later to the show. So yeah, the first liner. It's sad though with the first liner passing away, and I gotta see how Eric Monty doing.
He's still living. He's staying with his daughter up in Oregon.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
he's still living.
You
yeah,
know he's preached from Cooley High, basically.
Right,
yeah,
that was his story.
yeah. That was his story, yeah. Yeah, yeah, this guy. So it doesn't surprise me. So he came out there. Do y'all think Cleavon Little was X-Men?
That I don't know, but I know you
The
talking about.
only reason I say this is because it was a movie from the 80s. Well, sometimes it was a movie he was in from the 80s where he was like it was like a Once Bitten or
Yeah,
something.
with Jim Carrey. I remember that movie.
Yeah, and that's when we first saw Jim Carrey. And it was with Lauren Hutton, and that's when I
Right.
first started questioning could he have might have been, I like Cleavon Little a lot.
Yeah, Cleveland Little, unfortunately, he was like a one hit. Uh, his only big movie was, and I'm quoting Paul Mooney, but the only big movie was Blazing Saddles.
Right.
Yeah, and that was meant for Richard Pryor, I believe.
Exactly. It was. It was.
But he did it justice, I like, he was awesome. Can you imagine though if that was Richard Pryor though?
Yeah.
Where the white women at? Oh, my mom used to love that movie. You ain't gonna get no movie like that no more. People would be too dang. It'd be funny the way my niece be so shocked. Like when it be like, oh, she has seen like episode of All in the Valley, and my niece was like, oh my gosh, they were saying that back then. But yeah, oh goodness, especially around that time in the '70s, they was very politically incorrect. Yeah, but I was just talking not too long ago about the movie The Jerk. I was born a poor black child. We used to love them movies. I think the last of those politically incorrect kind of movies of that era was Trading Places,
Right.
1980.
But I didn't like what happened with old boy. He played Grandpa Evans on Good Times. He was
Yeah,
in that movie Mandingo. I don't see how he could portray that.
yeah,
Who we talking about?
yeah,
His
yeah.
name is Richard Ward. He played Grandpa Evans on Good
You
Times.
should. He was actually in some really good other roles though. Like he was kind of he kind of had that Frankie Faison thing
Yeah,
going.
that's
Right, but I just didn't like that movie he did Mandingo. I mean, that just no, you couldn't pay me $1 zillion to do that.
I vaguely remember that. I can barely, because I was little and I could barely remember that movie. But
They basically
I can imagine.
never
I
mind. I
I
ain't
just
gonna say it.
remember I just remember clips from it. I just
Have
remember
you
clips.
seen him in the Learning Tree though?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I
we
saw him
watched
in
that.
that,
We watched that not that long ago.
even
Most
though
of
I
that,
hated that movie.
He was like he's lying. He put
Yeah,
so much like soul in. I was like, oh my god! And then he ran. But that's Gordon Parks Jr. That's his life.
yeah,
exactly.
we
Yep.
just watched that movie. Yeah, that was kind of disappointing.
I had to watch that in my African American cinema class when I was in college.
I just watched it for the first time recently with my husband because he wanted to check it out.
I didn't like that movie at all. I
For
hated
the
it.
first- Yeah, yeah.
It
Oh,
kind of no, it kind of reminded me of myself. Basically, I was like Newt Winger. Basically, young, naive, optimistic, fell
Did
in love, and the girl I was so called in love with dumped me for the star basketball player, and a few months later found out she got pregnant by the dude.
oh
did,
yeah, and with this movie, she got the
Right,
white guy with the money.
right. But I'm just saying, I've been there where Newt Winger, you know, I was
that, that was wild when that
right.
woman ran up on him in the storm. She was like, "All right." I'm like, "What?"
Hmm.
Oh
But
yeah, but that's the 70s for you. That's the yeah, the stuff that they got to sweep back all the that stuff they got away with them 70s movies. It was wild, but
that
they were
happened
wrong.
in the 40s or
I saw
Yeah, no, Learning Tree was set in the 1920s, if I'm
yeah, it
correct.
was supposed to be, and I used to have a fascination with the 1920s. I don't know, well, more so the Roaring Twenties.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
word on it. Back in when I was a teenager in the 80s, late 80s, I just had this fascination with the 1920s. So
you
anything.
know, there's an easy way that you can find out like how they were living. Like you can read a lot of the literature like back in the day, and that'll tell you the mindset people had back then.
Yeah, and
Like,
they have this footage and stuff now. Have you seen how they've rejuvenated or restored this footage now? I don't know.
yeah, but you got to remember some of that stuff is AI, so you can't really trust it.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Well, you have to know this. I'm just putting the truth out there.
Oh, I don't want to be deceived. I want to believe. Yeah, okay, put it in color, make it clear, but I don't want to be deceived like that. You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
Well,
that
they're
kind
doing it.
of
Go ahead.
it kind of destroys like the integrity or the of the original. Like, I don't like it when they colorize like
Oh,
photos and stuff.
I just want to, I don't know, I just want to feel like I'm walking through, not that I would be, because our people, we got to be careful with the concept of going back in time. But like Paul Mooney said, find your ass in chains or something. But I don't know, I just like the experience of, like, I do go to those videos every now and then. I'm subscribed to one of them channels where I just like to believe that I'm, just because it always fascinated me. What was it like during this time, or what it was, you know?
You don't want to know about the good old days.
No, I mean,
The
I just
only thing
want to
good about
know.
those
I'm not
days was the
saying I want
music.
to live
I'm
because
about to say you wouldn't want to live at that time. Be glad you was born the year you was born. Because I
uh,
mean everything's so
can you believe when
technology
I was
now.
a
I mean
kid?
back in those, I mean nowadays they don't even have to operate on you for surgery. They just use a laser in some aspects of surgery. Back then they'd have no choice but to cut you open.
Yeah. But like I know I sound crazy as a black kid, but I used to want to go when I was like 10 years old and stuff. And I was like 10, 11, 12. I wanted to go to like when they started doing them Renaissance fairs. Am I crazy? I don't know why, but stuff on medieval time. You had quite a few of them movies like in the 80s. Like I don't know, stuff medieval times. I,
No, I'll stay right here.
But I used to want to go to them little fairs, like the Renaissance, like what I'm saying, the little Renaissance fair.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
I'm the one black kid. I used to want to go to that.
Yeah, DJ Mega Aim is speaking facts up in here.
Let me see what's okay. I ain't checking with the chat room in a minute. Hold on, y'all. Oh, and the music going. Yeah, I know deep down I say that, but oh wait, it got disconnected. Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, here we go. uh, you said you've been to the meeting. You've been to those. Y'all wanted to go. When I was
Oh, wow.
young, I don't know, in the movies, like movies, it used to fascinate me. Like, and I used to love, like I was talking about, I love the film Time Bandits. Remember
Okay.
the movie Time Bandits with
Yes,
the.
of course.
Now when I think about it, I'm looking at it now. It's a creepier movie than I thought. Oh, there's a scene in Time Bandits. I said I was gonna come up in here, and I said, "Wait, this man
Yeah.
is time." Hold on, hold on. Time Bandits. I wonder if I can get away with it. It's a scene. I was gonna talk about this because I watched it more recently, right? I'm like, oh, I ain't seen this in years. But it's that part at the end where that like man that's like the devil was speaking. Was this the part here?
What sort of intelligence? No one created me. I cannot be
He played his role too well. Wait, he explained something.
Why have I let the Supreme Being keep me here in the fortress of ultimate tyranny? Oh, of course.
It's a okay. What was the evil genius? Okay, was that his name? The character? He said something. Oh gosh, I said because I believe that. Oh yeah, this part here. I'm like, did y'all catch this? It's kind of ahead of its time. Oh wait, you gotta it's echoing again.
Uh,
Okay, all right. Is it okay? Yeah, this scene right
Oh,
here.
of course. I let him keep me here in order to lull him into a false sense of security.
Okay, now in Time Bandits, evil discusses the importance of computing. Like this person is like the devil, like right. But listen to what he's saying here.
It's a good question. Why have I let the Supreme Being keep me here in the fortress of ultimate darkness? Because you don't shut up, I'm speaking tyranny. Oh, of course. I let him keep me here in order to lull him into a false sense of security. But I have the map.
Now, of course, we know this don't go with the Bible, but
I will be free, and the world will be different, because I have understanding. Understanding of what, Master? Digital watches. And soon I shall have understanding of video cassette recorders and car telephones. And when I have understanding of them, I shall have understanding of computers. And when I have understanding of computers, I shall be the supreme being. God isn't interested in technology. He knows nothing of the potential of the microchip or the silicon revolution. Look at
do y'all understand that this movie came out in 1981?
how he spends his time. 43 species of parrots. Nipples for men. Slugs. Slugs! He created slugs.
Now, of course, I'm not, this mockery guy, but this is kind of, I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, but I mean, just consider what's saying. Because I believe they be having things in motion. The wicked powers that be, working on this earth, they be having things in motion decades, perhaps even a century at a time.
When I have understanding of them, I shall have understanding.
Again, this is 1981, y'all, when this movie came out. I used to love this movie as a kid.
What, Master? Digital watches. And soon I shall have understanding of what, Master? Digital watches. And soon I shall have understanding of video cassette recorders and car telephones. And when I have understanding of them, I shall have understanding of computers. And when I have understanding of computers, I shall be the supreme being. God isn't interested in technology.
Now, because there's people that believe that AI is is like control, and all this, especially its more current technology is like demon control, literally. There are people who believe that. Because you see how I know we be laughing at some of this stuff. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I was cracking up when they was making songs that Beach Blonde, Bad Blip. What was
Right.
that? What was that politician, that woman who hit that white lady with the six B's? Beach Blonde, bad. She had to practice that. Beach Blonde, Bad Bill. I was making all these songs, the Motown version. I was rolling. But even though we laughing, but this is kind of creepy because then it was like one point, like, oh my gosh, they're the way that we improv and stuff, and or what do you call that, and singing and ad lib and all
Right.
that, the way we break it down. I said, this is kind of creepy though. This is getting creepier and creepier. Even though we may yeah, Jasmine Crockett. uh, and they were making all these songs, these AI versions. But that's crazy how they. But the what really got me wilding is how my husband showed me, and I had to come up in here and show y'all. Like you could just say, okay, make a rap song, and I'm insulted by this. If you say, okay, I want you to write me a rap song about rabbits, and it'll put together some rhymes, and you know what I'm saying, and they dope. And I'm like, this is wrong because I'm offended as an artist, as a person who used to rap and who, I'm kind of offended by this that any damn fool can come up in here. Unlike me who, got the gift, got the skills, the talent that anybody can come up in here. I mean, I'm for real. I guess this is how they felt about the synthesizer. Even though I'm
Yes,
see
I could
now,
agree on
yeah,
that.
because see me, I appreciate the synthesizer. 'Cause I feel that it allowed people to expand, like Prince and Stevie Wonder showed that being that they're musical geniuses, it
No
just helped
doubt, but the thing
expand
is,
the
it's
creativity.
like didn't a lot of R&B bands end up out of work because of the synthesizer? Because the synthesizer did all the work.
Yeah, yeah, but
Because
you
bands became
I
extinct
like
after a
them.
while.
But see, being that I like songs like New Order and all that stuff, so of course I'm going to defend the. But now I guess I understand what they saying with, because this AI, I don't. That is totally taking everything though. That's taking. If all you got to do, like my husband showed you, all you got to do is type, make a song about. That's wrong. Oh my gosh, yeah. That is kind of what they were. Sweet dreams are made. But I mean, I'm just tripping because this is 1981.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And it
think
was
of
going on
that.
in the 80s, like you said, with like Antoine said, with Eurythmic Sweet Dreams. And that's when those electronic drums came out. Remember, I told you about that before. Basically, you don't even have to play these drums. All you do is tap it and the beat would come about.
I never really liked the sound of that though.
Right, because you didn't have to play anything. It would play for you.
Yeah, I didn't really like that sound coming from that. But I don't even think people use that anymore though, do they?
Oh, they stopped them electronic drums. They came fast. I remember they first came out in like 82, and by 86 it was gone.
Mm. Yeah, I'm just saying, I just can't imagine not having songs like, Erotic City. That's all I'm saying. Being that I love those hip hop, electro funk. But ironically, remember what the nucleus pushed the button.
Right.
That's why I was like, you know what? I got to make a video for this song so y'all can see the words. Do I still got it on this channel? I thought I uploaded to one of these channels. Push the button. I think I gotta upload it one more time because we ain't pay attention to them words. Computer age is here. You and I wait. Everyone must have a machine. They think it's gonna make life easier. Cause yeah, they was saying stuff. Even when you think about Melly Mel, Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel with Big
Hmm.
Three, and work for the future. And don't be a slave to no computer, cause the children of man inherit the land. Yeah, remember he was kind of warning us then.
Right, back in 84.
Right, right. Wow. But let me
Even though
go
you can't talk about him because maybe he was doing white lines, and at the time when he wrote that song, he was doing white lines.
but
If you know what I mean.
like somebody said, what dude from Cypress Hill be real? That's hip hop. Hip hop has always kind of been a contradiction. Do it, don't
True.
do it. Don't do it, do it. Hip hop has always been a contradiction like that when you really think about it. You know. Um, let me see. Fred Sean Grayson's son. Wow, the guy that shot
Sonya Massey. Oh, he died.
his
Good.
note saying, wait. Oh, you said, I thought he said this. Hold on. Let me check that out. Breaking news. Whoa. May have to talk about this separately. Whoa.
Now I didn't know this. Boy, well, he ain't
How
my boy, but the motherfucker died. Okay.
how do I react? I'm trying to remember. Bob. I'm trying to. I'm not a Christian. I didn't say I was a Christian. I believe in the Messiah, but I ain't. But how do I react? How do I? It's not really. I just saw one thing.
No, what he did was messed up.
Wait, wait, wait.
I mean, when you saw, if you saw that video, basically you seeing this sister's last moments on earth.
Wait.
It's sad. It got to me.
Why did I put? Why did I put? Wow. Ain't that something? Former, what it say here? Former Illinois Deputy Sean Grayson dies while serving sentence for the murder of Sonia Massey. Why do I feel that was too easy, too soon? Um, I want to. I'm not. I'm gonna say this. I remember when Jeffrey Dahmer, when it was announced that he had died or was unalived in prison. I remember my mama. Uh, yeah, I remember that morning. My mama was shouting and I was like, got his ass. You know, my mother was hooping, hollering. She found out in other words, she was cheering when she found out what happened with Jeffrey Dahmer in prison. And it was him and this other man who lied that, because this happened in Milwaukee. It was another man he was in prison with who lied about, yeah, he had unalived his wife. And so he had said that these black men did it, but his ass did it. Yeah.
Uh huh.
And it just happened to be these two guys that, this black man in prison took out. So then white people were trying to make it like, oh, was it like a hate thing? Was it a racial thing? And I think that guy said like he just like something in his. But now he was in an interview saying he believed they wanted him to take that Dom out or whatever. Maybe because
Hmm.
Dom, well, because I have my beliefs on the whole thing. Well, wow, thanking that. Oh, let me. Oh goodness, just looking at him. This is one of those other things that I kind of didn't want to look too into. I felt I had a duty. And yeah, that's why also I lost respect for Jamal. I don't want to say Lord, brand new here.
Uh
Somebody
huh.
I used to defend. I used to defend this guy with the whole Eminem thing. But him saying, so she did try to throw a pot of water at him. Now, where did that come from with him? Let me see. Former Illinois deputy Sean Grayson has died in prison while serving his murder sentence for the 2024 shooting of Sonia Massey, his attorney announced Sunday. The attorney did not immediately provide further information on Grayson's death. Grayson was denied an early release as he was living in prison with stage 4 cancer. Did they know that before he went to prison?
That I don't know, but I mean, when it hit stage 4, you basically gone.
Yeah. Ben Crump and Antonio Ramanucci, attorneys for Massey's family, issued a statement Sunday evening saying Sonia Massey's death was unjustifiable and she should be alive today. Sean Grayson's death in custody from cancer does not bring Sonia back. Man, why do I feel like, man, it's too soon? Like, it ain't long enough. His ass in jail. But we wish his family. We wish his family pray. Who's saying this?
Yeah.
Who's?
Well, that website, I guess.
I guess this is the attorneys for Sonia Massey family. We wish his family prayers. Okay.
The attorneys for Sonya Math, they should have said good riddance.
Yeah.
To hell with that dude. Lashid, if you saw that video, I mean, like I said, you
Oh no!
basically,
You remember I shared it up. I did an analysis. I had to
right,
share.
because you basically seeing this sister's last moments on earth, literally.
Yeah.
It got to me, like I said before.
Wow. I kind of don't even want to revisit that. I kind of don't even want to. I remember I was traumatized with that. I'm still okay. I still got to look into that old ass white man
Yeah, that motherfucker. Excuse my language.
That had me,
That
and
got me too.
it's like I had no choice but to continue working on the video because I'm like, wait, do y'all know that there's more to this video? Because I was able to find original footage, right?
I remember the video
From a,
exactly.
from a local news site, from a very local news site. And nobody was seeing this. No, because I wanted, and I even tried to contact the family, to show that, this video upload
Uh huh.
so that they could know in case, because I noticed that we were getting like this shortened version. And do you understand? So I said, no, I felt like it was my duty. I got to put together a video and I got to put the words in it. I got to, even if I got to. And so I had to listen to that over and over. That had me messed up. But she,
Same here.
her, please, and she begging for her life.
Right.
Oh, goodness. Oh, man. Oh, goodness. I'm seeing Chicago news. Family of man killed in Humboldt Park. Chicago police. Oh boy, Chicago. This is local Chicago news. Oh man, family of man killed in Humboldt Park. CPD shooting sues police. See, I have not been watching the Chicago news, so I would not know. Yeah, what's been going down, even in my own city. I just know we've been having in Illinois some really crazy weather. But come to find out, there, let me click out of that because that's kind of getting a little depressed. Because yeah, I hear that the weather's been like everywhere. Yeah, then just stuff that like you just don't expect and certain like the heat waves that's been going through Europe and it's a sign of the time. But I was tripping when what was it, a couple of years last year, or 2 or 3 years ago, earthquake in New York. Like what?
Yeah, I
That
remember that.
that was the craziest right there.
Yeah, because New York can't handle that shit with all them buildings and them skyscrapers.
Yeah, and I've never that's unheard of. Like
Exactly.
yeah, earthquake in New York. And yeah, and it's been things, signs like lightning bolts they catching. Yeah, didn't oh yeah, wait. Didn't a like lightning strike? What was it? Well, we do know with the in DC, yeah, there's these volcano eruptions, sign of the times, I'm telling you. Yeah, and it's colon cancer. I noticed they said with that Sean Grayson. Goodness. I would say something, but I'm not. I'm gonna leave it alone. Oh, well, what happened to the brother Kulani? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and close this
Hold
down.
on, hold on.
Yeah, I miss Big Brother, but you know what? I hope most people ain't watching because Big Brother, it's been CBS. I see what they doing. I see what everybody talking like they feel it's set up because CBS don't want. CBS has been the old white folks network for some decades now,
Right,
and it's obvious that being that they last year had Black woman win the Big Brother, and it's obvious what they doing. With this show, so and people kind of talking about it, but. These no no, but there have been these volcanoes erupted and like unexpectedly like you remember with the Canary Island and we got our theories with that
right.
with the fallen ages and all, but with the Canary Islands and stuff and um yeah, but to expect more, to expect don't be surprised, expect some yeah, I remember. Yeah, so I'm gonna shut this down, Garwin. Anything you want to add?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay, well,
Thank you for
you don't
having me
want
up
me to
in
go all
here.
into that. Y'all, you don't want me to go into all that, but I do. Yeah, with the volcanoes and all that's in certain
Okay.
areas like Canary Island. If you believe what I believe, like in regards to, well, I just definitely believe where it's kind of like in the days of Noah. I'm gonna just say that. So, would you be ready for the second Exodus, Garwin?
Oh, would I? You tell me.
Would you? Cause y'all so FBA now, y'all.
Hey,
Let
I ain't into that. You into that.
get it ready, get it ready. Yeah, you ready?
Hmm. You something
Okay.
else.
Yeah. I'm tripping, but I'm for
Yes, sir.
real at the same time though. But
Okay.
but y'all. It's been great. I've had fun. Damn it! I saw Aretha there earlier, but wait, is she still here? I thought I saw her earlier, didn't I?
Uh-huh.
Oh snap. Okay, but thanks for joining. Let me see who's all here. Yeah, because I had needed to address, Reef is disturbed. You know, Reef from the comment section.
Uh-huh.
Reef, there's been some, some chat bickering going on, but I said,
Yeah, what's good? Is everything cool now? Because I mean,
well, I hope so. I hope so with everybody,
all right.
But I was meaning, yeah, I keep doing these stories hoping to catch Reef, but I did thought I saw Reef up in here. Yeah. Oh wait, she did say happy Sunday, everyone. So she was. I don't know if she's still here, but well, I'm going to try again. But yeah. So yeah, this has been great. Thanks for joining, y'all. Let me see, James Leon. What was his name again? Kundani. Forgive me if I'm saying your name. Thanks so much for coming up. Great discussion. Let me see, Fran Brown. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you being here, your participation, and you could have came up on the panel. We talk about 8 tracks and stuff. Oh goodness, I'm tripping over that song. Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah.
DJ Mega A, Gary Taylor, James Leon, Antoine Grady, all of y'all that's listening, even if it's just a few, you understand I appreciate you. And if I miss your name, that's not on
Oh,
purpose.
you know we appreciate you, especially doing the music lives. We need to do another one if possible.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was really gonna go. I had wanted to talk a little more on some blues, but I
We
don't
can
know.
do that.
I'm not up. I'm not as I should be. One thing, like I said, I always feel kind of bad as a person who loves music. I feel ashamed that I don't know enough jazz as I should.
Got you.
I like jazz, jazz influenced artists with
Mhm.
like Patrice Rushen and Give Me the Night.
I
I'm good
got you.
George Benson, but I can't say I'd be. And I like T.S. Monk, but like I said, I don't know too much about Thelonious Monk.
Right, because that was their father.
Right, to me, but I know T.S. Monk. Give me that bump, 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 me. Give me this. So I've always kind of felt ashamed, like my brothers know, like because I can't really have a discussion on jazz. Like, how dare I think I can speak on funk and all of that if I don't really know jazz like that? But I'm gonna get up on it. I'm gonna get up on and I know the basics that probably everybody, but that's probably what everybody knows though. But yeah, so I will get back with y'all later. Enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of your week. Much peace and
All
much
right,
love.
peace out, everybody.